All right. Hello. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone has been having a great start to their week. I am. I'm definitely having a good start of my week. I think I really just needed some really good rest. I just needed to sleep for 20 hours straight. Not really. I did not sleep for 20 hours straight. But I really did just need a long rest day. It's just I don't know if it's just a combination of heat. I'm just recovering from a cold. It's just like a whole combination of things, and I really definitely needed that. So if you guys ever need rest, please just take it. Take it. Um, yeah, but I do hope that everybody else is doing well. Today, we're going to continue with Lauren Arnold. Okay, so the warning signs that everybody missed. We're going to continue talking about what she saw the day of the murders when she arrived at Chris's house and all the crazy things that he was doing. He's so insane. The way that this guy was acting while his family was missing is just so obvious that he had done something to his family. So obvious. And so, yes, we're going to continue listening to this. I hope to finish it today. I really do hope to finish it. We have about 45 minutes left of this video. So if we have to go on for 3 hours, then we will. Then we will. We'll hang out longer, which of course I don't mind. Neffy. Aw, thank you so much for upgrading. Welcome. Welcome to Platinum. Um, I would love to sleep 20 hours. I maybe get that in a week. Oh no, Eric. No. You gotta sleep. You gotta sleep. Yeah, maybe not 20 hours, but you just sleep like a full 10, maybe. Does that work? Um, yeah, I think the last time so I slept in I want to say I probably slept a total of 10 hours. And it wasn't even straight. Like I still had to wake up in the middle of the night and cough or do whatever my throat has to do. Um, and then I went straight back to sleep. So I think in total I got around 9.5, maybe. I wanna say 10 hours. I do feel a lot better. I feel revived. I feel revived. Yeah, for real, this heat does drain. Exactly, love buzz. It really does. The heat just destroys everything. I mean, yeah, it definitely sets the mood for me. I have my fan turned on, so I'm feeling a little cool here. But yeah, overall, the heat just destroys everything. All right, guys. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue listening to Lauren Arnold. A lot of interesting things. My goodness, I had not listened to this interview before, and I'm so glad that you guys recommended it because there's so much good information here. Again, she was the first person, not the first person, but one of the very first of Shanann's friends to confront Chris and ask him what's going on. And of course, Chris, being such an idiot, he doesn't know how to talk to women that are asking him direct questions. So a lot of questions are going to be asked today. Lots of polls. So you guys get ready. Get ready to answer the questions. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. A lot of page
Look at the
flipping.
shoes at the door.
They were her black flip flops, and it was like she kicked them off like right at the door.
Inside the front door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And,
So it was like a pair of his work boots, and then like her shoes.
Oh, his work boots.
does she always wear those shoes?
Uh-huh.
Those
Those are her, yeah. They're her favorite shoes.
Okay.
Yeah. She like orders a new pair like every year.
And I've heard that she wears those constantly.
Yes.
See, everyone knows this. All of her friends know that. All of her friends know that those are her favorite pair of shoes, right? Those flip flops that she left by the door. So, again, very weird that pregnant woman, two girls missing, yet her flip flops are by the door, her car is still there, right? Everything is still there. And Chris is just like, the cops told me not to look for my family, but I do want to go to work. Again, how does that work? How does that work? How is your family missing and you still want to go to work the next day? It's because he wanted to see Nicole Kessinger. I think that's the only obvious conclusion here is that he really only cared about seeing Nicole Kessinger. He wasn't going to go look for his family. He knew that they were gone already. He had disposed of them that morning. He discarded his family like trash so that he can be with his new mistress. So yeah, he wasn't going to waste his time looking for his family. There was nothing to look for. He knew where they were. But again, what an idiot. He didn't even pretend. That's the thing. The man didn't even pretend to go look for his family. I mean, he could have, at the bare minimum, right? At the very least, done that. At least drive around. If you still want to talk to Nicole Kessinger, you can use that time to do it. Yet that didn't happen. It would have been so great, wouldn't have been? If Chris had been calling Nicole Kessinger this whole time, maybe we would have different phone logs from Nicole. Maybe we would have seen something more clear in the plan had that happened. But no, somehow Chris decided to stay home. And he's like, yeah, I don't know where my family is, but I'm still going to go to work tomorrow. What? Huh? So weird. The guy is such an idiot. All right, guys, let's continue.
So for them to be at the house and her not to be there, would you say that's unusual?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah. No, that's what, yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned the suitcase.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
So when you walk in, there's a staircase, and then there's like a little space like beside the staircase, kind of, and there's a little table. So in between the table and then like where the stairs begin was like her roll suitcase and then like a tote bag that were like right up against the wall over there.
Okay. Roll suitcase, like a carry-on?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What
Right.
color was it?
Oh god, I have no idea.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Did you see her?
Right. We know that that's a suitcase that Shanann brought in, right? And so she put it next to the staircase, right? Right next to where that bag of clothing was left behind, where Chris was like, "Oh yeah, those are my shorts. Yeah, that's when I used to be overweight. Look at me now. I got my macros dialed in, so I need to get rid of those clothing." I don't know. Do we think those clothes belong to Nicole Kessinger? I've always believed that they did. I think that's why he was being so weird about it. He didn't want Dave Baumhover to get close to it. Do we remember that, or do we need to watch that video? I do want to bring up here. Let's go ahead and just bring up um, the videos of Shanann that morning, so that we can see the suitcase. The suitcase right here. It's black, right? Oh yeah, there it is. There's a suitcase. That's a suitcase that Lauren is talking about, black suitcase. The suitcase was put right next to the staircase. Huh. So does Shanann, she made it in. What do we think, guys? Do we think that she put the suitcase right next to the stairs and then went upstairs, right? This is, again, we go back and forth. Do we think that she got ambushed as soon as she walked in the door? Was she ambushed? If she was, then who moved the suitcase over by the staircase? Was it Nicole Kessinger or was it Chris? And if she did walk in and then put the suitcase by the stairs, then that means that she also went upstairs, right? She went directly upstairs, probably got into bed. She didn't have time to wash her face because she was tired. And then Chris waited until she fell asleep to strangle her, like the coward that he is. God. Ugh. Oh my God. I know so many of you guys are asking me if I'm going to interview the man. Absolutely not. I can't. I can't stomach it. I can't. I can't pretend to be on his side or compliment him on his big potato head shaped, thing that is hanging from his shoulders. Like I'm not going to compliment him on that, and I think I would have to be able to get some information from him. So no, absolutely not. But what do we think? What do we think? Do we think that it was put there by other people, or do we think that Shanann got there, put the suitcase there, and then went upstairs? What do we think? You think, oh, she was ambushed. Okay, let's go ahead. This is going to be our very first poll of the day. I want to ask because I think it's important. She's bringing it up here. Okay, Lauren is bringing it up, and she noticed it, right? She noticed it right away. So it's something that we definitely have to ask. Okay, my first thought always was that it was clothes Chris gave her to wear during. Oh, Josie. Oh my God, just Josie's. That is actually, that's actually, yeah, that's actually a good thought. Yeah, what if she wore those clothing? Oh, interesting. What if she wore that clothes to clean up? I never even thought of that. Okay, the question is going to be, Who put the suitcase by the stairs? Who put the suitcase by the stairs? Okay, was it Shanann when she got home? Or was it Chris after the ambush? Was it NK? And then the last one is going to be, for those of you who have no inclination, let's go ahead and add no inclination. All right, so who put the suitcase by the stairs? That is going to be the question of the day. Okay, who put the suitcase by the stairs? Shanann when she got home, Chris after the ambush, Nicole after the ambush. I put 2 afters. And then no inclination. No inclination. Which one do we think it is? Poor lady was probably tired and would grab it later. She didn't have time to. Yeah, I definitely see that. What about, I truly believe that she was unalived in her bed. Chris is a coward. He waited for her to be asleep. Exactly, Janet. I completely agree. I agree. I do go back and forth whether or not he, drugged her or something. I know that the actual autopsy report doesn't reveal any drugs, really. But I've always wondered, or did he just wait until she fell asleep? I think he just waited. Especially with how tired she was, if she was really, exhausted because she was traveling, she's pregnant, she's getting home at 2 in the morning when she was supposed to arrive the day prior. I would expect her to be really, really tired. So she's not going to wash her face or anything. She's going to go straight to sleep. And I think Chris, being the coward that he is, he waited. He waited. Because she planned on washing it later. Yeah. She had to go upstairs and change her clothes. I don't think Chris did that after he killed her. Right. Right? Exactly. Exactly. What do we think? What do we think? Are we talking about Shanann's bag or the other bag? No, we're talking about the suitcase. We're talking about the suitcase. Just the suitcase. So the suitcase that we see her walk in with here. This is it right here. Right, this suitcase. That is what we're talking about. Because this is the suitcase that Lauren Arnold just mentioned that she saw right next to the stairs. She also saw Shanann's favorite shoes, right? So these are the observations that she's letting the police know about. I remember Shanann dragging a suitcase in the doorbell footage. Yes, it's right here. It's right here, you guys. It's this one right here. This suitcase. Does anyone else remember dog alerting just outside the master bedroom? She's been crying all the time because of Twats and his gaslighting. Yes. Poor lady was jet lagged. Exactly. He's weak. Poor excuse of a man. My answer is Shanann. Okay. Yes, the suitcase, guys. The suitcase. Not the bag, the suitcase. All right, guys. Yeah, go ahead and just keep voting. We're gonna go ahead and continue because my God, there's a lot of good information here. She would have had to fight with all her might. Yes. All right, guys, let's continue.
Her purse anywhere?
Mm-mm.
Did you see her car in the garage?
No.
Did you go in the garage?
No.
Oh man. She's very respectful. If I was her, I would have been all over that house. I know that Chris closed the doors. As soon as he told me that he closed the doors upstairs, I would have been like, oh, really, Chris? Why? I want to go look. I don't care. Fuck him. I would have gone straight upstairs and been like, oh, really? You closed the doors? I wonder why. I would have been all over that house, all over it, all over it. I don't even care that he feels uncomfortable. Oh, this is my home. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Look at you. You look like a potato. I think I have access to your home, especially because something's wrong with my friend. Where is she? That's what I would have done. But anyway, again, I think, yeah, she's definitely a better person than I am. She definitely respected him way more than I would have. I would have been all over that house. But You guys let me know. You guys let me know. Would you have been all over the house if your friend was missing and Chris was acting this way, right? Or the husband, he's like, I don't know. I don't know where they be. Mm, mm-mm. And he's not even looking you dead in the eye. He's just like, I don't know. The cops told me not to go look for my family because it's just not even gonna do much. Like it's like it doesn't help. Yeah, but I do want to go to work. Like, I think I'm gonna like go to work tomorrow and stuff. Would you have been all over that house? Hell yeah, I would have. I would have been like, what's wrong with you? Why are you short circuiting? Why are you saying like? Why aren't you looking at me dead in the eye, guy? Ugh, my goodness. Me too. I had been dragged out kicking and screaming. Exactly, Soily Blue. Yes. He would have had to call the cops on me. Right? Oh, okay, okay, Chris. Yeah, really? You don't want me to look all over your house? Okay, then I think you need to call the cops. Call them on me. Of course, he wouldn't have had the balls to do that. Of course not. He did not have the guts to call the cops. Oh my goodness. Coward. All right, guys, let's continue.
It would have, but I felt like it would have been awkward if I was like, hey, can I go look around?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when we made that comment about closing the doors upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
what was your thought process when he said that to you?
At first I thought it was weird that he had mentioned it because I kind of just looked upstairs and it's sort of a habit when I go in because like your eye just kind of automatically wants to look around, I guess. And so from downstairs you can see like their bedroom door. You can kind of see a little bit upstairs. So I just happened to just like glance and look around and the door was closed and he just volunteered the information that he went up there and closed all the doors because he couldn't go up there and he was like, I just can't see what's up
Did you
there.
comment about the doors being closed?
No.
Was that unusual for the doors to be closed? Was that something you'd even pick up on?
No, no. I just, like I said, I just happened to glance upstairs and I looked and then I went, I guess I looked back downstairs and he was like, oh, I closed all the doors. I was like, okay. And then he just kind of went into the explanation that he couldn't go up there and didn't want to see, he said he couldn't handle seeing their rooms or something and the toys and everything. And I was like, okay.
So the door that you could see that was closed, which door was that?
Their bedroom door.
So the master bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you see the girl?
This is we saw this yesterday, but I want to ask you guys, why do we think he closed the doors? Is he trying to hide more evidence? Was he in the middle of cleaning up? Remember, Lauren is there at the same time as Nick and Amanda Thayer. So I think that he closed the door before Nick and Amanda Thayer even showed up. Right? So he's closing everything before his friends show up because he doesn't want his friends to go looking for Shanann and the girls. Right? What do we think? I think that's the reason. He knew that if he's going to allow people into the house, he has to close everything. Otherwise, people are going to want to look. And I think he's just coming up with his excuse. Again, he is willingly giving up information that wasn't asked of him. The same thing that he does when he's lying. And of course, who else does this? Nicole Kessinger, right? Nicole Kessinger is an expert at this kind of crap, right? They'll ask her one question and then she starts going and rambling about other things that have nothing to do with the original question, and then she over explains a lot, right? I think all of it, the over explanation, is because she's lying. And in this case, I think that Chris is doing the same thing. He's lying. He's not talking about the toys. He's not saying, oh yeah, I closed the doors because I can't stand to see the toys up there. Oh my god, it's just my heart can't handle it. Bullshit. It's not that. It's not that. I think that he's closing the doors because he knows that if people go into his house, they're going to want to look. And he doesn't want them looking. He doesn't want them sniffing around all of the things that he's trying to hide. Oh, God. I closed the door of the room is a mess. Oh, definitely. Yes, Carolette. Same, right? Yeah, I'll close the door if I have visitors, if I have friends coming over and I just didn't clean up that well, I'll close it. Um, But definitely I don't know, that excuse doesn't fly with Chris. Not here. Definitely not. I mean, yeah, it was probably a mess because he was trying to get rid of evidence. Oh my god. And Kay's an expert in everything. Exactly. Man, I close my doors when I haven't cleaned and I don't want my visitors to see the mess. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shame and embarrassment. Um, right. She had abundance of support from friends and family. Yeah, exactly, V-Bug. Oh my goodness. If they went on a play date, why care about the doors? Exactly. Oh my God, exactly, Scott. What a potato head. I'm glad that we can use the emojis. We already know what we're talking about. I know Shanann was tired, but she was also OCD. I think that she would have taken her makeup off. There is a reason that Chris mentioned mascara running down her face. I think that she was ambushed. Oh, right. Yeah, very good point, KTD. Very, very good point. All right, guys, let's go ahead and continue.
Girls is?
I mean, I would have if I would have looked over, because their rooms are on this side, and and the girls' rooms are on this side, and their room is right there. So I would have had to like looked, because I wasn't like far enough in the house yet. But if I would have kept walking and then looked up, then I would have seen.
He mentioned something about their toys.
Yeah, he said he couldn't handle seeing their stuff, or he said going up there, excuse me, and seeing all of their stuff. He's like, I can't be up there. But then I noticed, like, when we went into the kitchen and I looked into the living room, there was a bunch of toys and stuff in the living room.
Right.
So my first thought was, so you can handle seeing toys and stuff downstairs, but you can't handle seeing anything upstairs.
Yeah, see, she's bringing in logic to that stupid explanation. This is all logic. She's using her brain, right? Her common sense. She's like, hold on. So you're telling me that you can't handle seeing the toys upstairs, but you're okay with the toys being downstairs? That is a stupid excuse. Consistency, right? There has to be consistency to an explanation. If he is saying that he can't see the toys, then why are the toys okay downstairs? That doesn't make any sense. That means that the reasoning is not consistent, which means that he's lying. Oh, oh, Angela. Oh, thank you. Love this chat family. Oh, love you guys too. You guys are so amazing. And the thing is, I love that we can share ideas here. We can share ideas, we can share thoughts, and we can go down the rabbit hole for each and every one of our theories. Twats has zero logic. I know, right? Exactly. You know, even the zero that you just typed in looks like a potato. Yeah, that's exactly what his head looks like. It's the shape of a zero. That's what he is. He's a huge zero. He's a loser. But anyway, let's continue.
Which kind of, I don't know, irritated me. Not really irritated, but it just didn't make any sense to me.
I'd be irritated. See, I understood what she said. Yeah, she was irritated because it's annoying, right? It's kind of stupid. It's like, huh? That explanation makes no sense. I would be irritated too. I think that the word that she used to explain how annoyed she was, I think was correct, because what kind of stupid explanation is that? That is such a dumb excuse.
So at the time he makes that comment to you, does it strike you as unusual, or do you pay attention to it? Do you just kind of brush it off?
No, I definitely paid attention to it.
Okay.
Because up until that point,
Yeah, because she's smart. Because she can see right through his BS. That's why. Right? That's why. She's like, "Hold on. No, wait. The math ain't mathin', right? You're telling me that 1 + 1 = 5, and it doesn't, right? 1 + 1 should equal 2. But you're telling me that you close the doors upstairs because of the toys, yet there's toys downstairs, so the math doesn't math. It doesn't add up." Yeah, she did not let it go because she knows something's up.
I mean, nothing was, besides them being missing, nothing was really weird about the situation. And then once I got to the house, and I saw that her shoes were there, and I saw that her luggage was still downstairs, not put away, and then he made that comment, like, right when I got there. It was just it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, it didn't feel right because her her intuition, right? Her common sense, her logic is telling her that something isn't right, right? Her brain is noticing the inconsistency, so that's why she knows something is wrong, right? Something's not right. And yeah, I agree, V-Bug. Zero thoughts, zero emotions, zero logic. And zero, let's just call it zero game, all right? Zero game. that's also how long he lasts, I'm sure. 0. I'm done. See, this is Twisterfer we're talking about, right? The guy that he was obsessed with the Twister. He was obsessed with it. Any chance that he could, he was like, okay, okay, Nikki, yeah, you're down for round 5. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead. All right, spin it. Okay, my arm goes on left, blue. Okay, okay, I'm done. It's fast. It's like this. You don't even know it happens, right? Nicole's like, wait, are we done? Hold on. Wait, did you already spin? Oh, okay. I guess we're done then. And Chris was like, yeah, I'm ready for the sixth time, right? He's like, come on. Oh, yeah, 0 stamina. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, the guy has 0 stamina. He's ready for part 5, 6, 7, and 8, and Nicole is still wondering if it ever started. Goodness. All right, guys, let's continue.
So something's striking you as unusual
Oh yeah,
about the situation.
yeah.
Are there normally toys scattered around downstairs?
Um, Not if the girls aren't home. If the girls are home, then yeah, there'll be toys and stuff downstairs. But if they're not home, then Shanann cleans up everything. She's kind of OCD, neat
Pretty
free.
tidy about everything.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned something about you were looking at Chris to see if you could find any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little more about that.
I love her.
I noticed that he didn't have sleeves on.
I love her. I love her. See, I want friends like her, like Nicole Atkinson, like Cassie, like all of her friends. They were all on it. All of them are like, hold on, something's up with that guy. Look at the potato head. You need to look at why he's acting this way. Everyone knew. Everyone knew. Somehow, only his friends didn't get it. And obviously his family, right? Obviously. But other than that, all of her friends were on it. They all knew something was up and that Chris had done something to them. He was responsible. Everyone knew it. I mean, if you have eyes, you would know that he was responsible. If you are like him, then maybe you wouldn't see it because you're just as much as a covert narcissist as he is. But if you're not, you would definitely know that something was up with the way that he was acting.
So I just kind of, as I was talking to him, I was trying to see if I could see anything. So like I looked at his hands and he was kind of sitting at an angle, so I could only see like one side of him. So I looked to see if like there were scratch marks or bruises or something on his arms or whatever, and I didn't see anything.
So something's triggering you to look at.
Yeah.
See this.
Yeah.
So you
Why? Something is triggering you to look at his arm. Yeah, it's called common sense. I'm oh my god. I understand, okay? Like I understand why the investigator keeps asking all these questions. He's like, "Okay, I want to understand why you were looking at his arms. Something triggered you." Yeah, it's called common sense. It's called common sense. That's what triggered me. That's what I would have said. I would have been like, "Detective, aren't you the detective? Don't you know statistics? Do you not know? Are you not aware of family annihilators and the statistics that go into missing families? Who's the most likely suspect when some of these things happen, right? It's always the spouse. So I think in that, I don't know, I think I would have probably answered that way, but I don't know, that's probably just me. I think by this point I would have gotten so annoyed. I would have been like, "Sir, yeah, the thing that triggered me is that my friend and her kids are missing. Her husband is acting like nothing's wrong and he's not even looking for his family." I mean, it's common sense. That's gonna make me look at his arms and wonder, did you do something to them? Because why are you acting like this? Why aren't you crying? Why aren't you running out there looking for your family? Why aren't you going crazy because your family is missing? Again, it's just, is this not common sense for people? Some people have weird energy. Yeah, smart. She had different clothes on when they found her. Like I said, the investigators need to take lessons from friends and how to look into a crime. Yes, Jerry, I agree with you. I agree. And right, I do understand that they're looking at this from an unbiased point of view, right? They need to be able to look at it through the eyes of evidence and fact. But I mean, come on, really? I mean, just use your brain, right? Just use your eyeballs. If this man isn't crying and he's laughing because his family is missing, that should signal something to you. Anyway, let's continue.
You think he's done something?
At this point, I do find his behavior very suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Is there anything specifically that's triggering it, or is it a kind of a combination of everything?
it's kind of a combination. It was a feeling that I had gotten. His demeanor, his random comment about the doors being closed upstairs, him not wanting to go look for her, it just, everything kind of piled up together. I don't know, it didn't feel right.
Yeah, that's because she has a real she has a real survival instinct. She clearly knows how to survive. Right? These are all survival instincts that we have. When something doesn't make sense and you feel something is off, that is your natural instinct telling you that you should probably set up a wall, right? You should definitely probably set up a boundary between you and that person because something about them might be a little bit dangerous. This is what she's doing here. She's like, yeah, it wasn't one thing, it was a combination of things that triggered me. Because none of this makes sense, right? It is again, it is just it's so weird. All the line of question is kind of strange. The suitcase, are the blue bag and case stuff were sitting there to pack into the Lexus for the runaway setup. But NK boarded the mission and forgot that the suitcase in the blue. Oh, wow. They were sitting there for the runaway setup. Hmm. Huh. That's an interesting thought, Boops. I never thought of that. What do we think, guys? Do we think that bag that was set up right by the stairs, do we think that it was NK was supposed to put that in the Lexus as well and make it be part of the plan? Where she was supposed to drive off with the Lexus, make it seem like Shanann was leaving? What do we think? The other thing that I thought was weird is that his boots were right by the door, right? Did he put his which boots? Now that I think about it, which work boots? Was it the dirty ones, the ones that he used to dispose of his family that morning, or was it the new pair of boots? Which one was it? And I wonder if Nicole was also supposed to get those boots and put them in the car, right? A lot of questions, a lot of questions. All right, guys. I'm gonna ask this question. I think that it's. I just want to see what you guys think. Um, let's go ahead and end the previous poll. Look at that, 76 votes. Um, who put the suitcase by the stairs? SR. Look at that. Shanann when she got home. Okay, so we think that she put it by the stairs, went upstairs, and then, yeah, Chris Watts murdered her upstairs while she was sleeping. And then the second one is Chris Watts after the ambush, 21%, NK after the ambush, 16%, and then lastly, no inclination. Okay. All right, next poll. Do we think okay, the question is going to be what do we think about the bag of clothes next to the stairs? Okay. What do we think about the bag of clothes by the stairs? Okay. Do we think so it was part of the plan? But NK forgot it. And the only reason NK forgot it was because the mission was aborted, right? The plan was aborted. Part of the plan, but NK forgot it. What is the second one that we think? What is the another reason that Chris would have that bag right there? What do we think? What else do we think about that clothes? Like, why was it sitting there? Was it Chris's clothes? Do we think maybe he took it over to her house or her apartment? By hers, I mean Nicole Cassinger's, and then he brought it back and put it right there and he just kind of forgot? What do we think? I don't think that happened because Shanann was in different clothes. She changed her clothes. Okay, how many times did Potato change clothes that day? Good question, Angela. I think he changed twice. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Chris Watts clothing. clothes that he used to change. Right, so he probably changed it numerous times. It's also so weird that no one looked into it, right? No one else looked into that bag of clothes. I wonder if that's what he wore when digging the hole. Exactly, right? Chris Watts, okay, so he used to change to dig the hole, right? He should be forced to tell the facts of the case. Yeah. Yes, just Josie. Multiple people wore blue long sleeves and jeans that morning. Didn't have time to get rid of it. Didn't Ellie look into the bag? They could test to see if Shanann's size or someone's else. Yeah, they did, but they didn't really look into it. They just went, "Oh, okay." And then Chris was over explaining again, which is why I think that he's lying. There's something with the bag, and that's why he's lying. That's why he's like, "Oh, that's mine. Yeah, that's mine when because I lost a lot of weight. I lost 13 pounds from July 4th to August 12th. And so those shorts don't fit me anymore," is what he said. Well, he didn't say that verbatim, but you get the gist. Right. Yeah. Remember Chris said that we're going to be donated because they were too big. I think it's BS though, right? Yeah, that's what he said. But do we actually think that that's the truth? Or that we're going to be donated? Here, let's put that as one of the options. Donations to Goodwill. Yeah. Of course, he's trying to donate them. Oh, donations. He's such a humanitarian, isn't he? Just like Nicole. They just want to help everyone out. Donations to Goodwill, or what else do we think? And then we think because it was NK's clothes because she spent the night. Okay. Okay, it's either NK's clothes for spending the night. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and start this poll. All right, what do we think about the bag of clothes by the stairs? The first one is part of the plan. So Nicole Cassandra forgot it though. Remember, she was supposed to put it in the Lexus and then drive off, but she forgot it. Number 2, Chris Watts clothes that he used to change that morning, right, to dig the hole. The third one is going to be donations to Goodwill because he's such a humanitarian. Oh, he cares about other people and making sure that everyone is clothed. And then NK's clothes for spending the night. Exactly. Yeah, Chris is a philanthropist. I believe it's Nikki's overnight bag. Oh, okay. It was BS, but Chris did say that. Yeah, exactly. He did say that. And I don't believe anything that he says. But yeah, it's up there. It's up there. If you guys think that it was donations to Goodwill, you guys let me know. All right, guys, let's continue.
So I've heard from other people that he's not an overly emotional person to begin with. But I think you described him on Monday as not emotional about the situation.
Right.
Could you tell a difference between the two?
I mean, I've never really seen him in an emotional situation before. So normally whenever I would see him, it was for like Super Bowl or a holiday or a dinner party or something like that. So I've never had to see him having to use any emotions besides being happy.
Faking happy.
And like I said, I can't really judge a person's reaction to a situation that they've never been in before, but when your wife and your kids are missing, you just kind of expect someone to be at least sad or anxious or, just some kind of something. And there was just nothing. There was just nothing there.
So if I were to describe it as basically flat,
Yes,
would that be fair?
yeah.
Okay. Let me throw something out. So from your experience, would it be normal for somebody if their kids and wife are missing? Would they be flat like that, or would they be hysterical?
What kind of question is that? From your experience? What kind of question is that? From you From your experience, if your wife and kids are missing, how do you think someone would act? Uh, huh? What? Again, I understand why the investigator is asking these stupid questions, but it's a very dumb question to ask from your experience. From your experience? Is this not something that we as human beings just feel? Is this not something that we just have? Isn't that weird? It's kind of a weird question, right? I don't think you have to have experience. It's something that you naturally, we inherently feel worry when something that we love is missing. You don't, it's not something that you learn in a school setting, right? You don't sit there and experience grief by learning about it. It's something that we feel. It is biological. It is inherent in us as human beings, as a species. So again, what a weird question. It's weird, isn't it? What do you guys think? Or am I being too overly critical here? I just think it's such a weird question. What do you guys think? That is, yeah, exactly. Yeah, right, TK? I think it's weird. It's a weird question. Wow. It's a journalist, not a detective. It's a no, this is definitely a detective. Yeah, this the person asking these questions is a detective, not a journalist. Um unless you're Chris, he forgot to Google how to feel about. Yeah, exactly. Right. All right, guys. Let's continue.
I mean, I feel like there should be a medium in between the two.
Okay.
Because I think it was late enough to where he wouldn't have been hysterical anymore, but it was still too early for him to have completely shut off his emotions. So I feel like while I was asking him questions or talking about them, like I feel like he should have expressed some kind of something, and I wasn't getting anything from him.
Oh man, Jerry. Maybe this guy looked up how he's supposed to feel in the dictionary too. The thesaurus, right? He's like, how does it feel when your family goes missing? Am I supposed to worry? What does concern feel like? What is my body supposed to do? Am I just supposed to stand there stiff? Or should I kind of move around? Huh? D- are these people really wondering how to behave as a compassionate human being? Do people just not feel compassion? Again, this is a scary world we live in if people don't know basic stuff like this. If people don't feel basic concern when someone they love is missing, then we're already fucked as a humanity, right? We're already screwed as a society.
He just, I don't know, it's like almost robotic, I guess.
Did it appear that he'd been crying?
No.
Did he expand any more on why he wasn't going to go look for them other than the police told him not to?
That's all he said. Well, that's what Nick said. Because I asked Chris, and Nick answered for him. And I was kind of like, okay, well, I was talking to Chris. So they wouldn't let me, I don't want to say let me, but I wasn't able to talk to him by myself. So
Who else was there with him?
it was Nick and Amanda there.
So they stayed with him.
Okay, she's getting into Nick and Amanda Thayer. All right, guys. Look, I really just wanted to pull this up because I think it's strange. It to me is it's very strange. It's very strange and it's kind of creepy. All right, let's go ahead and look at this real quick. I looked at I looked it up, okay? How do you feel when you're worried? Am I worried? What does it feel like? Again, how stupid that we're even Googling this right now. Okay, signs in your body. What's a body? Is this my body? Hold on, but I'm only torso. My legs are nubs, right? They're just little nubbins. Do my legs feel it too? Right? Are these the questions that we're supposed to be asking right now? Look, signs in the body. Fast heartbeat or tight chest. I don't have that right now. Knots or pain in your stomach. I have that right now, but I think it's diarrhea. Sweating hands or cold fingers. I'm just clammy. Fast, shallow breathing. This is just how I breathe. Tight muscles in your neck or jaw. Right? These are all, it's very basic. Look, signs in the mind. Hard time focusing on tasks. Except Chris wanted to go back to work right away. Yeah, he was not even struggling or having a hard time with focusing on tasks. He was ready to go back to work and be out there as a field coordinator or whatever he was. He was ready to go back to lead people. Wow. Faster racing thoughts. This I believe, but it was only because he was afraid of getting caught and he was afraid of never seeing Nicole Kessinger again. So yeah, he's worried, but not about his family. He's worried about himself and Nicole Kessinger. Thinking about bad outcomes. Yeah, except he's not thinking about the outcome of his family being dead. The outcome is, holy shit, am I going to go to prison? And am I never going to see my lovely mistress ever again? Feeling restless or on edge. Yeah, he did feel these things, but again, for himself. Look at this. If you'd like, tell me, are you feeling tightness or racing heart right now? Is there a specific thought repeating your mind? I can help you explore what you are feeling. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Imagine having to ask this. Imagine. Here, let's go ahead and ask, how does it feel like when you're in love? Is that what he Googled? What does love feel like? That's what he Googled. Goodness. What does love feel like? Oh, bro, you don't know what love feels like? Here, let's go ahead and look up the other stupid thing that he Googled. Look, what does love feel like? Love feels like a mix of bright excitement and deep, quiet safety. It starts as a fast rush of joy. Yeah, it's called lust. When you see someone, but it grows into a warm, steady peace that feels like coming home. Yeah, that's the part that he didn't even get to because he was just lusting at first. The start of love, high energy. Your heart beats fast and you feel happy. Constant thoughts. You think about the person all day. Oh, Nikki, how are you, Nikki, my sexy empanada? Get home safely, my sexy empanada. Oh, I miss you. Constant thoughts. You think about the person all day, right? New excitement. Normal things like walking outside feel bright and fun. Deep, real love. Total safety. You can be yourself without fear. This is why he thought he was in love, because he can be his stupid self, and Nicole Kessinger wouldn't call him an idiot to his face. Not yet. She would have eventually, because I think that she would have gotten tired of him eventually. Deep calm. Your body and mind relax around them. Yeah, because it should, right? You feel safe with this person. You feel like you can really be yourself. Easy care. You want them to be happy, even if it takes extra work. What an absolute moron. Oh my goodness. Again, right? What an idiot. Like fireworks going off. Oh God. Yeah, we need to take back potatoes. One. Twats. How do I know I'm worried? Meanwhile, NK, will the man I'm having an affair with marry his mistress? What a pair of bloody simpletons. Right. They're both asking the most stupid questions. Is the man I'm having an affair with going to leave his wife for me? Girl, probably not, except this one did. But most men will not leave their families for their mistress, and vice versa. It doesn't really happen that way. Oh my goodness. Oh God, guys. All right, guys, let's continue. We have another poll coming up I want to ask you guys. But yeah, let's continue.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Mm-hmm. Cause I tried to talk to him in that living room area before we got to the kitchen. And then, Amanda came in and like introduced herself. So I never really got, I don't wanna say alone time, but like, I couldn't talk to him one-on-one. It was the three of them. And I didn't know them, so it was kind of awkward. But he answered the question for Chris about why they weren't going to search. And then when he mentioned wanting to go to work the next day, I was like, so you want to go to work, but you're not going to go look for them. And that was when Nick was like, well, the police told us not to. I was like, I know you said that, but that doesn't mean Like, you don't have, like, that doesn't mean you have to. Like, you should at least want to go look. And Chris was like, well, I don't see the point.
Oh my God. Just because the cops tell you, hey, there's really no point for you to go out there and look for your family. And Chris is like, okay. The cops told me there's no point, so I'm not going to waste my time doing something that the cops told me there's no point to do. The thing that kind of caught my attention is how Nick was speaking for him. So it's almost like Nick was his bodyguard at that point. Now I will give them the benefit of the doubt, right? I will say that they were really being good friends to Chris, and by they I mean Nick and Amanda Thayer. They were being really, really good friends to Chris. They really were. They believed him until the very last minute, right? They believed him until they saw that Chris had actually annihilated his family. So yeah, I don't want to fault them too much, right? I understand that they were equally confused, worried, wondering what is going on, and so I think that's why Nick was answering for Chris. But I do find it interesting because, not because of Nick, but mostly because of Chris. I feel that Chris found in his friend Nick Thayer the perfect opportunity to use him as a shield. What do you guys think? Chris is such a effing scumbag that he used his friend's real concern for him and for his family to use them as shields, against people like her, right? Against Lauren, against Nicole Atkinson, against Cassie. Any of Shanann's friends that would come at him and ask him questions, he would then just say, you know what? No, I'll have other people defend me because I'm not going to deal with this. What do you guys think? I think it's so manipulative. It is so disgusting. He's such a narcissist. He's a narcissist. Yeah, just because he's not over here, he's not an overt one like his mother. He's still very narcissistic. He knows how to manipulate people. I mean, again, we know that he manipulated and gaslit Shanann up until the point that he murdered her. And she felt it. She felt something was wrong. And now, he's using his friends too. What do you guys think? Wow. They told him not to talk to cops without a lawyer. Oh my God. Why? Again, right? I understand. I understand that they were looking out for him in a certain way, right? But if you think that this man murdered his family, why are you telling him to get a lawyer? Screw the lawyer. Oh my God. I think he used everybody. Yes, he did. Jerry, I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't think they were naive at all. Oh, really? Jay Coverload. Really? Hmm. Huh. Okay. Really? Eric said they felt horrible. See, I think so too. I think, like I said, I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Um, they did give an interview later, and they did say that they felt lied to, they felt tricked, they felt kind of disgusting about it afterwards, right? In retrospect, but I do kind of wonder what was going through their brains when this was going on. They did have a lot of trust in Chris. Yeah, they did, Tiger. Yeah, I can see them protecting him because he played the role of poor defenseless passive guy all the time. Yes, Sandy. Exactly. Yeah, right? Just like his other friend. What's his name? Jeremy Lindstrom, right? That couple also thought that maybe Chris was just too passive and too stupid to do all this to his family. Again, right? He was just playing the victim role, and he was playing the nice guy, right? The nice guy trope. Oh, he's a nice guy. There's no way he does him to his family. Oh, come on. Yes, he did. As we know, he did. He had a lot of people fooled. Yeah. 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 Exactly, Jared. Yeah, he's the nice guy, quiet guy, do anything for. Yep, exactly. All right, guys, let's continue.
And then he was like, I can't stay here. So it was really like, it was kind of conflicting because he wanted to leave and go to work because he didn't want to be at home, but he didn't want to leave to go look for them because the police said that it wasn't going to do any good.
Chris ever say anything about the girls' medication still being there, anything like that? Talk about the medication for the girls or for Shanann. Were you aware that they were on medication?
Uh-huh.
And that was for?
Well, CeCe had her medicine for her allergies, so there was always like the EpiPens. Um, I don't know what all Shanann was on, but I know she, with her Thrive routine, she has like her shake every morning and stuff like that, so all of that was there apparently. She never like, and there was no dishes in the sink, so she didn't like have her shake that morning. She didn't give the girls breakfast.
Right.
So that was kind of unusual.
Is she even, oh my God. She's so observant. I mean, holy. She walked in, she's like, oh yeah, where's the dishes? She didn't have her shake. She didn't make breakfast for the girls. All this is strange, right? She's the only one really catching on to all of this. So weird. So weird that the other friends didn't, right? And yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't trust the couples or singles that sided with Chris Watts in the situation. They should be in the broader investigation. Yeah. And like I said, right, like I do really think that Nick and Amanda Thayer felt really bad about it in retrospect, right? They also expressed concern and fear because they allowed Chris to sleep right next to their kid's room, right? I mean, imagine you you welcome a family annihilator into your home thinking that this passive idiot, that's all he is, right? He's just a potato. There's no way he could have done anything to his family. His legs are too stubby. He can barely even move. Right? So you give him the benefit of the doubt. And then later you find out that he annihilated his family to be with another woman. Imagine thinking about allowing this monster to sleep right next to your kid. Oh, oh God. But again, I wouldn't. The thing is, I would have. I. I don't know how anybody can trust Chris like this, right? And again, I say this, and being as forgiving as possible to their situation, right, Nick and Amanda. But at the same time, you have Lauren who is there doing the same thing, and she's like, no, I don't know why you guys trust this guy because he's obviously lying. Red flags everywhere. Everywhere. It's not even a red flag anymore. It's a banner at that point.
Do you know if she takes any other prescription medications?
Not that I know of. I'm not really sure.
She ever talked about having migraines?
Yeah, she hadn't had them in a while. I think, I know when she got pregnant that she was having migraines more frequently, but that happened with her last two pregnancies also.
And my understanding is she recently had some neck surgery.
Uh-huh.
That was last summer, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that about?
I don't even know what it's called. My mom had the same surgery. Um, I don't, I don't know. I know that like they went in through the front and they did something with her spine, and then she was in a neck brace for a few weeks. She seemed to recover pretty fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any major complications with that you're aware of?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, she just hated wearing the neck brace.
Not sure. It doesn't seem like a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, she said it didn't go with any of her clothes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So, anyone else at the house when you were there?
Just the Thayers, Chris, and the dog.
When do you leave the house?
I was there for maybe 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. The kids were in the driveway in the car on their tablets, so I didn't want to like leave them for too long, but I didn't want to bring them in either. So I couldn't stay for too long, but I mean, I guess at that point there was really nothing I could do.
What do you do when you leave?
I go get gas at the gas station down the street.
Okay.
I kind of took the long way of sorts, so like I kind of drove through the neighborhood a little bit
Because?
to see if I could find anything. I drove to where I could see like the back of their house, because I couldn't remember if there were houses and stuff back there yet. Because when they first moved out there, it was nothing but a field, but they were starting to develop, so I wanted to see kind of what was going on back there. Just to look around to see if I could see anything, just because I wanted to find them. So I drove around the neighborhood, went and got gas, and came back to my house. I thought about going to talk to the people at Starbucks to see if maybe they had seen something. Then I was like, well, they would have had a shift change, so it would have been important. Or
Was she a regular at the Starbucks?
No, she didn't even drink coffee.
Oh.
But you never know. I don't know, there's so many like fields and stuff out there. I was like, there's no way I could go and search all this by myself, so.
Wow.
I was trying.
Look, she was doing way more work than Chris ever even thought about doing. Right? She was doing way more work. She's like, yeah, there's like a lot of fields out there and I can't go looking through all of them. She's already thinking about looking through the fields. Oh, I mean, yeah. When your friend is missing and the husband is acting that way, you're already thinking the worst, right? You're already thinking the worst. I would too. I'd be like, okay, no, I think we need to grab a search party and go search this whole area because something's up. Something's up. Look, she's doing the work. She didn't even want to go home. She's like, okay, let me drive around and see if I can ask people if I can search these areas. My goodness. Oh my God. Oh,
Trying to think of like who I could call to like come back out there and maybe look in the area. Cause there's a lot of land out there.
Right.
mm-hmm.
So you went and got gas, drove around in the neighborhood there. What do you do after that?
I went back to Aurora.
Okay.
I called her brother and told him that I had just left the house. I talked to him for a little while. I asked if they needed anything. I think I probably got back on Facebook to see if anybody had said anything.
See anything else on Facebook that anybody had of interest?
No, it's more the reposting of his like my sister is missing type thing. It spread pretty quickly. I don't know, I called my fiance and was like, excuse me, I was like, Shannan's missing, I just left the house.
Mm.
And then he was mad because I went out there by myself. And I was like, well, it's Chris, like he's not gonna do anything to me.
Oh man, right? Imagine thinking that, oh, it's Chris, he's not gonna do anything to me. Oh man. Huh, this is Chris Watts we're talking about. He murdered his children and put them into oil tanks. So that man is capable of anything, I think. What else? What else? Yes. Do we think that Dieter was barking? I think so, yeah, but what if he put Dieter in the basement, right? What if he put Dieter in the cage and then put him in the basement while he was doing all of this? So then Dieter would not have been barking, right? He would not have been barking, even if he saw the whole thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think he was kept in the cage. What do you guys think? Birdwatcher, when police came in, Chris Watts picked up something from Shanann's car. No one mentions it. Oh, it's definitely been mentioned. I did a whole live stream of me reenacting that part, in fact, of Chris picking up something from Shanann's car. I believe that he picked up her phone and her ring after doing that very quick reenactment. Again, right? It's not all that scientific, but I did reenact it and I filmed myself, and I just wanted to make sure that if he did get something out of the car, that, the way that he was, moving, the way that he was trying to hide it, I think that he was holding a phone and a ring after the reenactment, but we'll never know. We'll never know unless Chris tells us, but I think it was those two things. Yes, Julie, dogs have a real sense of, very sensitive and aware to know that something is wrong, and Dieter never seemed comfortable around Chris. Yes, exactly, but he loved Belle and CeCe. See, I think, Hot Chocolate Lover, thank you so much for bringing this up, because I think, yes, animals can tell when someone is evil. Again, right? This is uh I will say that there is some, research that has gone into this, especially with cats. Cats are very good at scoping out people's vibes, but dogs are too. Dogs can definitely tell when someone is not a sincere and genuine person. And I think that the reason that Dieter never liked Chris is because Chris was an absolute douchebag. I think that Dieter did not like him because he's a douche. And then, as we know, Chris even tried to strangle Dieter playfully, right? He's like, "Oh yeah, let me play around with the dog and let me squeeze his neck." But like, come on, guy, that is not how you earn the love of an animal. You don't earn the love of a dog or a cat by squeezing its neck. What a psychopath. Psychopath. I think this guy was always a psychopath. Who does that? Who squeezes their animal's neck and thinks it's cute and playful? What a sicko. The guy's crazy.
Um, then I don't know, I went home and I think I called another one of our friends from back home to see if she had heard from it, like heard anything. And then I kind of just stayed on my phone and
Do you have any contact with anybody else um, involved with this? Did you talk to Chris at all?
I didn't talk to Chris after that day.
Okay.
I talked to Nicole the next day.
That was the 14th.
Yes.
What'd you and Nicole talk about?
Um,
Oh, we're getting
I
into Nicole
asked
Atkinson.
her how Shanann was when she dropped her off. Um, I asked her, was she sure that she made it inside? And she said yes. She said she watched her walk in and close the door.
All good questions. All good questions, right? I mean, yeah, these are questions that I would be asking too. Like, hey, so when you dropped her off, did you make sure that she made it in? Right? Did you make sure? And yes, she did. We have the evidence. We have all of it here. She made it in. So it can't be said that she was kidnapped off the porch because she wasn't. She made it. Look at what a good friend she is. She's waiting. Look, she pulled out in front of Chris's truck to make sure that she can see her friend walk in. As soon as she walked in, now she's free to drive off, right? Look, she even paused again. She even stopped. She's like, hold on. Okay, are you in? All right, cool. Now I can go. This is a good friend. Now imagine having Nicole Kessinger as a friend. My God. My God. My friends go missing. Kevin, it's pretty standard when my friends go missing. Yeah, they just go missing for 8 whole months. I never even know what happened to them, but it's pretty standard. I mean, they eventually show up, I guess. Ugh. Anyway, let's continue.
I asked her if, like, her and Chris had been fighting that she knew of. Um, I mean, kind of all the, like, standard questions. Like, have you heard from her? When was the last time you talked to her? Then she did the same to me. When was the last time you talked to her? Did she say anything to you? And then we kind of both started to, like,
Yeah, I just pawn their stuff barely. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they go missing all the time. Yeah, the danger was inside. Exactly, smart survival. The danger was inside, not outside. Inside the home. And sadly, this is the truth for a lot of women, right? For a lot of women, the danger is in the home, not in the streets, not in the dark alleys, not in the dark parks. It's in the home with their partner. Mm.
worried more after talking to each other because she usually talks to one of the two of us at least every day. And so now that it had been pretty much 24 hours since we knew that she had at least gotten home and nobody had heard from her, we automatically knew something was wrong. Because even if hypothetically she had decided to run away and take the kids, she would have at least contacted her family to say, hey, I'm okay. I just had to get away. She's not that kind of person, but she would have contacted somebody. And so that's when we knew that it just wasn't right.
Boops. Yes. Yes. You are. Oh my God. You are spot on. That is so true. Yeah. The video that we have of Shanann walking in, this is the video that he wanted the police to see. Remember, Chris talks about where the Vivant starts to record people, and he does so many stupid things, right? He stands over here in this little area, and he's like, yeah, this is where it starts recording. It's right here. And he does some stupid thing, right? It's because he knew exactly when Vivant is going to start recording. I think that a lot of the things that he was doing with the Vivant, right, messing with it, Shanann kept calling him to call Vivant to see what's going on with the cameras because they're not working, but they were. I think they were working properly. It's just Chris was disconnecting them or getting, taking access away from Shanann so that she wouldn't see when Nicole Kessinger was coming over or when he was driving the Lexus out and parking it across the street. He didn't want her to see all these things, but he was okay with this video, right? He was okay with this. Yeah, he wanted everyone to see that she got home. And then what? She just took off with her new lover? Come on. How absurd. How absurd. Such a stupid story. What a dumb plan these two came up with, right? So dumb. Oh my God. Thank you for bringing that up, Boops.
Let me back up to
Yeah, KTD.
Monday, when you go to the house. So we talked quite a bit about Chris and the toys in the house and suitcase. Anything else at the house unusual that you notice? Anything strike you as unusual?
No,
Place?
it was.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. I know I keep stopping it, but the chat is on fire today. I mean, it always is, but it is on fire today with all of our theories and everything intertwining. I love it. Okay. Another thing. Exactly. Because we have this footage, I think that it was on, right? Chris knows that the camera comes on when there's movement here, but he also knows that there's, other things that are being recorded, right? So if somebody's here, you can see something move out, right? So is it possible that he was okay with seeing the Lexus being pulled out because the Lexus would have been right here, right? Right here. Do we think the Vivint would have picked that up, right? If Nicole Kessinger was pretending to be Shanann leaving that morning, right? Do we think that the Lexus would have been backing up here and the Vivint would have recorded that? Again, I think that was part of the plan, right? The plan. I think the part of the plan was for Nicole Kessinger to pretend to be her and then drive out, pull out, and then you just see the Lexus either pull out this way and then drive off or pull out this way like this and then drive that way. But either way, you were going to see the Lexus drive away. And that was going to be, in their eyes, right, in their mind, that was going to be the smoking gun, right? That was going to be the evidence that they needed to prove that Shanann left on her own. No one else can, I don't know, right? I mean, of course, I'm open to seeing other theories, right? But so far, the way that the evidence, what the evidence shows us, Chris's own statements, Nicole's statements, and of course, the actual discovery in the calendar leads me to believe that this was the plan. This was the plan. Why was the Vivint camera turned on now, but it wasn't turned off before? I think it's because it was the plan. He wanted to capture this so that he can say, oh yeah, she left me for another man. Ugh. All right, guys, I'm going to ask you guys this, okay? Let's go ahead and end our previous poll. Okay, for our previous, we had, what do we think about the bag of clothes? It was part of the plan, right? It was part of the plan. Look at that. 35%, although we do have a tie for part of the plan and NK's clothes for spending the night. So either way, we still think that Nicole Kessinger was at the house, right? Okay. All right. And then Chris Watts' clothes. And then lastly, the Goodwill donations, of course. Okay. So the question for this one's going to be, why do we think Chris Watts turned on the Vivint camera? when Shanann arrived, right? Because this is the key here. He turned it on when he knew that Shanann was coming home, right? Otherwise, he was turning it off. Okay? Otherwise, the camera was always off. Here, look at this. We're gonna go back here. Around here is when Shanann started to suspect things, right? Right here, look. July 6th, Shanann to Chris Watts, call Vivant, right? Why is she asking him to call Vivant? It's probably because he turned the cameras off, right? And she's like, what is going on? Why am I not able to look inside the house? Look at this. Another one, July 15th, Chris Watts calls Vivant, and he also takes basement photos, right? All of this is showing us that he's messing with the Vivint cameras. Why? Why? Right? That's the question. And then again here, right? There's a lot of things going on, and all of a sudden, the Vivint cameras start working. Why? I think it's part of the plan. Again, my opinion, but I think it's part of the plan. All right, guys. So do we think? What do we think? What do we think? Part of the plan. Part of the plan for NK to drive with the Lexus. What else do we think? What else do we think? Why didn't Nikki take the Lexus that morning? Oh, because she couldn't get into the phone. Lehigh. I think that the reason, yeah, that's why the plan fell through, because she couldn't get into Shanann's phone. She couldn't pretend to be her. So then somewhere along the plan, it would have fallen through anyway, because how is she just going to drive off and then not ever have a communication with Chris via phone? There was no way to prove that there was a communication because she didn't have the password to the cell phone. He knew Shanann monitored the cameras. Right. Okay. Okay, they all said something was off and when they didn't hear from her. Yep. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Good question. Good question. When was she supposed to drive off? Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, she didn't have 6 hours. She really only had a very brief window. We'll pull up the calendar. We'll pull up the calendar. But yeah, that's a really good question. Okay, so he randomly fixed the camera. Okay, and then what's the other one? Okay. Okay, and then what is the other option? What do we think? What do we think? Because the other thing that I'm thinking about, why don't we have the footage of him walking back and forth that morning? Why is there no footage of him walking back and forth that morning when he pulled the truck up and backed it up? Or is it that it just didn't pick it up? That was the first problem. Yeah, Shanann changed her password. Either, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Chris Watts didn't know the baby's due date, or Chris Watts knew the previous password and didn't know Shanann changed it. Yeah, and I think it's the latter, Eric. Yeah, I think it's the latter. It's because Chris Watts didn't know that she changed her password. He did know her password from like her prior password, but he didn't know that she had changed it. And being the stupid potato that he is, he didn't even stop to think about what Shanann would change her password to, right? If you're a loving and caring husband, like you say, like Chris said that he was, why wouldn't he think, oh, my wife would probably switch this password to be Nico's birthday, a birth month? But no, he didn't even think of that. He's so stupid. Okay. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and start this poll. I just threw a bunch of little options in there. I just want to see what you guys think. Okay, so why do we think Chris Watts turned on the Vivint camera when Shanann arrived? It was part of the plan for the NK, right? Driving off with the Lexus. The cameras really just didn't work. He fixed it for Shanann. Or no inclination. What do we think? And then here, let's go ahead and pull up the day of. Okay. So Okay, so this is where the theory gets a little complicated, right? Because we're seeing what happened that day on August 13th, and this is what we want to follow. Okay, so the main thing we want to follow is let's just forget about Nicole Kessinger's ping, right? Let's throw that out the window. Let's just go ahead and look at what Shanann's phone is actually doing. Okay, Chris Watts staged a text. Okay, he staged a text to Shanann at 7:40. Shanann's phone received that text. Okay, so at 7:40 in the morning, okay, Chris gets on his phone and he goes, "If you take my girls, let me know where they're at." He clicks send, boop, and then it sends it to Shanann's phone and it receives it. The phone is on, so it receives the text message. Now, the second thing that he did was stage a phone call at 8:25. However, this phone call didn't make it to Shanann's phone. Why? Because the phone was already off. Why is the phone off? It didn't die. The phone didn't die. And look at this. How do we know that the phone was off? Because "how you doing, honey" text didn't make it to Shanann's phone. The "how you doing, honey" text, this was from Nicole Atkinson. Okay, Nicole Atkinson sent this message. Or sorry, not Nicole Atkinson, Cassie. Cassie sent this message to Shanann in the morning and it was not received. The phone didn't receive it because the phone was off. Okay, and we'll explain why we know that the phone was off. The second one, this is from Nicole Atkinson. Nicole Atkinson's first text to Shanann was, "How are you?" at 8:43. Again, the phone did not receive it. Why? Because it was off. Now, let's go ahead and fast forward to Chris being at home already. Chris arrives at the house. We know this because we see him pull up, right? He goes straight into the Lexus, blah, blah, blah. He goes upstairs. He's looking for the phone. Nick Atkinson finds the phone. All of a sudden, he gets all weird. He looks at the phone. They turn it on, right? Because it's off. He turns it on. And as soon as he turns on the phone, all of the messages start to come in. They're like bling, 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 bling. That's because the phone was off. The phone was off. So when he turns the phone back on, the text messages that he sent, the staged one, the one that Cassie sent to her, and then the one that Nicole Atkinson sent to her, they all just pop up. Bing, bing, bing. That's because they weren't received because the phone was off to begin with. Who turned it off? The phone didn't die. It didn't die. And the reason we know it didn't die is because as soon as Chris gets the phone, he presses these little buttons on the side. Okay, and the phone comes back on, and then we see the Apple logo. The Apple logo. And then the battery at the top, it's not full, but it's half. There was still battery. So the phone didn't just magically die when it still has battery life. He turned it on, and then all of a sudden, everything pops up. Everything. So the theory goes like this. Nicole Kessinger was supposed to get there that morning, and she's supposed to get to Shanann's phone to pretend that it's her, right? She's supposed to pretend that it's Shanann. She's supposed to text Chris and say, "I'm going to leave you. I no longer feel like we're going to, work on this marriage, blah, blah, blah. The baby isn't yours. I've actually been cheating on you with another man. And I'm going to take Bella and CeCe and our baby, and I'm going to leave you. F off. Screw it. Good luck to you, sir." Right? Or whatever. But point is, Nicole Kessinger was supposed to pretend to be her. That way, Chris would have had those text messages as proof that Shanann left on her own. And then, after doing that, Nicole Kessinger was supposed to grab all of the things, put them in the Lexus, and then drive off. And again, right, if we're going to be bringing in this camera here, on top of the text messages proving that Shanann willingly left, we would have also had a video of the Lexus driving off. Those two things alone, I think, would have led the investigation a different way, because now you have proof, right? Evidence that someone was texting from Shanann's phone saying, I'm leaving you, and I'm taking the girls, and the baby isn't yours, and I've been seeing another man." And then you see the Lexus drive off in this video. Now you have two things to tie it and say, "Oh, well, you know what? It looks like your wife abandoned you." That was the plan, in my opinion. Okay, that was the plan in my opinion. And again, I think it all kind of tracks, right? Of course, we're still missing a few things, and those are the things that we're trying to piece together. But so far, this is how it tracks. Okay, it tracks because who turned off the phone? It doesn't turn off on its own. What, Dieter turned it off? No. Who turned off the phone? Yeah, exactly. The phone was on when she got home. Exactly. See, all of these things track. Look at this. Shanann's last outgoing text message, okay? We're home, group text. Shanann enters the home. Look at that. Shanann's phone stops. The movement completely stops. Okay? No floor activity at all. Her phone movement stopped as soon as she walked in the door. Okay? As soon as she walked in the door, no movement anymore from her phone. Look, Shanann's iPad logs into the router. Again, what is happening here? These are right here. These are the pieces that we still haven't quite figured out yet. But why is Chris logging into her iPad? Why is the iPad being turned on and logging into the router? Is it because he's also what did he find out then that the password needed to be changed? Like, what is going on here? What do you guys think? This is the part again that it just I don't know. I haven't been able to figure this out. Like, why is he trying to log in? Is he trying to find the password? Again, and we also know that somebody ransacked Shanann's office. Why? Was someone looking for something so desperately? Were they like, oh man, where is it? Where is it? Where's the password? Again, I don't know. I don't know. But to me, it's very suspicious that her office was ransacked, that there was shit everywhere, right? She doesn't leave her office like that. Shanann has OCD. She's OCD, type A personality. She's not going to leave her office looking like a mess. She's just not like that. She even asked Chris, hey, can you close the door? Right? Let's go ahead and see that. Because I thought that was kind of weird too. Where is it? Where is it? It's here. It's on Saturday, I believe. Right here. Yeah, it is Saturday. Look at that. Shanann asked Chris to lock the office. Why? Right? It's probably because she doesn't, in Shanann's mind, she didn't want the girls to go in there and start moving things around. So she asked Chris to lock the office. Somehow he didn't lock the office though, because it was still open. Someone walked in there and moved everything. Jay writing, yeah. NK in a panic search for the past quote. Yeah, right. Yeah, he's trying to find a two-way text, the iPad being how the phone didn't work. Exactly, Jerry. NK looking for the passcode. Right. Right. The other thing that we know is that her Apple Watch, right? Where is Shanann's Apple Watch? Were they also trying to desperately text from her Apple Watch? Right? These are all the things that I wonder. Because if they couldn't get into her phone, then they're trying to text from another Apple device. But the thing is that with an iPad, you have to have a service, right? You have to have a service connected to that to be able to text outside, like out there if you're not connected to Wi-Fi. But you can definitely do it with a phone, right? Because it's connected to the actual service. And so is an Apple Watch, right? An Apple Watch is also connected to your phone service. So you can still use your Apple Watch out in the streets without being connected to Wi-Fi. But what happened to that? Did she also change her her Apple Watch password and Nicole couldn't access it? Like, what's going on there? Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Shanann told Chris to lock the office on Saturday. Yes, she was attacked immediately upon entering the home. Right, and I think that this is why that theory exists, right? The theory exists that she was ambushed as soon as she got home because of this. Because Shanann's phone movement stops. Okay. Now, again, these phones track everything. Okay. They track everything that you do, they track your location. If you move it from here to over there to the neighbor's house, you can track it. You can track all of this. So I don't believe that Chris took the phone with him because it would have shown that the phone was at Survey 319 that morning. So no, I think the phone was left at the house and Nicole Cassinger was supposed to pretend to be Shanann. Change my mind. Change my mind. Again, I'm open. I really am. Because I follow the evidence. I follow the evidence. If the evidence is pointing me one direction, I will follow it that way. But I have not seen any evidence that is compelling for me to change my theory. You guys, again, right? And that's why you guys are here to keep me on track with my logic. I ask you guys because sometimes I do drive myself crazy with everything that I'm looking through. And sometimes I just need a little guidance. I'm like, am I crazy? Do you guys see the same thing I see it? And then you guys tell me, oh no, I see it too. And I'm like, all right, cool. Again, right? And this is why I say maybe we're all just crazy and we're going to end up at the asylum together. But hey, at least we're there together. All right, guys. Oh, oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. Eric Issa. Unless, yeah, like I said, we'll all be there together. At least we won't be alone in our thoughts. Ronnie and Cindy still talk about the messy office left by Shanann in North Carolina as proof that she was skipping town. What? Chris knew that. Really? Chris knew that and was trying to do the same. Oh my goodness. How is a messy office any proof or suggestion that she's gonna skip town? How absurd. Again, really? Okay, so she's gonna ransack her own office, but then leave her flip-flops by the door? Come on! Where's the logic? Help me. Brain, help me with the logic here. How much sense does that make? Oh yeah, here, I'm gonna skip town by completely destroying my office, but I'm also gonna leave my wallet, my keys, my purse, my phone, my car keys, my flip-flops, everything. But I'm gonna skip town barefoot. What? She's supposed to be, hitchhiking down the road? I mean, come on. This is so stupid. But anyway, guys. Oh my goodness. So delusional. All right, guys, let's continue.
Really quiet. No, it wasn't. No.
Okay. So
Okay, I'm just looking at KTD's comments. Okay, I really do believe NK was there. Shanann was immediately ambushed and someone grabbed her phone so that she couldn't make an emergency phone call. They shut off the phone. Okay, so the only problem with that theory is that the phone was still on. Okay. So, yeah, the only problem with that theory is that if she was ambushed and someone turned off the phone, that means that the first staged text, oh my god, where did it go? It means that this one right here, where is it? Where did it go? This one. It means that this first staged text would have completely, the phone was on. At 7:40, the phone was still on because this text was received, right? It was received. And this is in the discovery, guys. It's in the discovery. Based on the wording in the actual discovery. Okay, where is it? Here it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and see this again. So at 7:40, right here. Okay, this is why I say the things that I'm saying. Okay, so look at this. At 7:40, Watts made a 2.5-minute phone call to Troy McCoy. And then, right here, Watts sent a staged message to Shanann's phone. If you take the kids somewhere, please let me know where they're at. Okay? Look at the way it's worded. Watts sent a staged message to Shanann's phone. But when we look at the other ones, right? So when we look at these messages that weren't received, so the ones by their friends, right? By Cassie and Nicole Atkinson, the wording changes. Okay, so what time was it? 8? Okay, where is it? Okay, oh look, it doesn't even show it here. So it shows up when the phone was turned on, which was around 2 p.m. Okay, so is it? So around 2 p.m., the phone turns on. Okay, well, it's called Utah. Okay, Cassie, Shanann, emotionally, minutes later. Okay, where did it go? Meadows. Here it is. Okay, so A group text was created between Cassie and the group was sent assorted messages. Okay, no, it's not that part. Shanann's phone exploded with anxious messages, sending her prayers. Okay, this is later. Oh my God, where is it? Hmm. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and see. What time? What time did they turn the phone on? Okay, Popo, right here. Okay, so receives and A's messages. Okay, at 2:14. Okay, so at 2:14. So at 14. So at 14 minute, what is going on? Sent another message. Where are you? Okay, right here. Fine. Okay. So messages from Nicole Atkinson were finally received. Okay, this is the part I was trying to show you guys. Okay, so it's right here. So Watts staged another message to Shanann's phone. Where are you? Okay, this was at 2:12. At 2:14, messages from Atkinson were finally received. Okay, so this is what I'm basing this off of. Finally received by Shanann's phone. By all accounts, look at this. These would have been sent by Atkinson earlier in the morning before she called police. They included, just wanted to see if you were okay. I know you were hurting a lot last night. I hope you're okay. Let me know how your appointment goes. I have been to your house. You won't open the door. Your alarm is set. Your shoes are sitting inside. Your car's home. I'm so very concerned about you right now. I need you to text me or call me and just tell me you're okay. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to be around anybody, I get it, it's fine, but I need to know you're okay. The wording leads me to believe that these messages came in after the phone was turned on, right? Because the phone was turned on at the same time and it says, were finally received. Okay. So it is my interpretation of the wording in the discovery. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Okay, I want to ask you guys, what do we think about the wording in the discovery? Do we think that this points to the phone being off and then turned on? Because that is how I interpreted the discovery's own writings, and that is why I think that the phone was turned on and then off later on because of how it was worded, right? It was finally received. This means that they weren't received before. They were received after her phone turned on, right? So because of this interpretation, we have it here as the phone was turned on and then it was turned off, or sorry, it was turned off and then it was turned back on. And that is why we have finally, right? They were finally received. And we can go ahead and watch that video all over again and see what we see. All right, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and end this poll. I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to ask you guys what you think based on the interpretation of the discovery. Okay, yes, poll time. Poll time. Oh, you guys are so cute. You guys get so excited for the polls. I do too. Yeah, I just want to hear what you guys think. Again, I want you guys to keep me on track, all right? Because sometimes, fuck, I don't know, right? What if I was interpreting this completely wrong, right? And you guys are like rocks. I don't know what the hell you're looking at, but that's not what it says, right? This is what I want. I want you guys to keep me on track. Oh, man. Okay. What do we think? What is your interpretation of the discovery? The phone was turned off and then on. Oh my God, why does it do that? Okay. And then on. The phone was turned. Okay. And what was the other one? It's okay. Okay. The phone was on and then off. The phone died, right? No battery. The phone was always on. And then phone was always off. Okay. You guys let me know what your interpretation is of this. And I'm also gonna find the video. I want to find the video, and we're gonna watch it again. I want to watch the video of. Here, let's go ahead and open this, open that. I want to find the video that we're talking about where Chris sees the phone and then he opens it and then we see everything in it. Let's go ahead and do this one. Okay. I know I saved it. Okay, where is it? Okay. All right, I'll find it. I'll find it real quick here. Okay, in the meantime, let's go ahead and keep watching this and listening, and let me look for the video.
Tuesday, you and Nicole talk, and are you convinced at this point that something has happened?
Yes.
Okay. What about Nicole? Is she in the same boat with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you do at this point?
We were trying to coordinate getting a search party together. We didn't know really where to start because there wasn't really, we don't have a whole lot to go on, so I didn't know where to start. And we were waiting to see what happened because we knew the dogs were coming out to the house. We saw that Chris was doing an interview.
Yeah, the dogs are showing up at the house, right? The canine unit. All right, guys, this is what I want to show you. Okay, let's go ahead and watch. Okay, we're gonna watch and see if we can match the interpretation in the discovery based on what we also observe. So, okay, so it's not only the interpretation of the discovery and the wording, it's also what we see happen in the video. So you guys let me know what you see.
Her phone's here? Yeah. Her phone's here.
Does she work? Yeah, she works from home.
Look, he's turning it on. He's turning it on. Okay, he's doing this. All right, he's doing right now. He's pressing these buttons, these two buttons here, right? The two buttons that turn on the phone, and he's going, yeah, she lives off her phone, says Potato. This is what he's doing. He's turning on the phone.
Oh, from home? She works, this is her lifeline.
We saw that. Look, he's waiting for it to come back on.
Yeah, that thing turns back on, it's gonna start.
Here, let's go ahead. I want to just slow it down a little bit. Slow it down. Okay, let's go ahead and do 70%, right? Yeah, 70.
Does she work? Yeah, she works from home. Oh, from home? She works, this is her.
Boom. Boom. Right there. The phone is not connected to a charger, meaning that the phone has not been charging. It did not die. It didn't die. Who turned the phone off? If we're going to go off of the interpretation from the discovery, it means that the phone at first was staged and the phone received the text message, but it didn't receive anything thereafter, right? Look, 414. Now, I know that it's screwed up because they're using the wrong time, but look, it's at this time, this is also 214, right? It says 2013 at the top. Ignore that. It is 214. Okay, so that is exactly when all of these things are happening. They're happening simultaneously. All right, so right here, Utoft, they were finally received. Finally, meaning they were never received before because the phone was off. However, when Chris sent those messages, it did not say, oh, they were finally received, right? So this part doesn't say, it doesn't say, oh yeah, Cassie's and Utoft messages on top of the ones that Chris staged finally made it to her phone. No. When we read about Chris staging the phone calls and the text messages, it says just straight up that they were staged, right here. wants to send the stage message to Shanann's phone. If you take the kids somewhere, please let me know where they're at, right? This message did not finally get received at 2:14, right? Do you guys Yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I don't think he tries to log in, though he must have already known the password doesn't work. He must have had the password and been charged. Okay. What's going on, Chris? Yes, it says the phone isn't turning on because the Apple startup. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Apple startup screen is on. Okay, let's go ahead and see this again. Look, it's there.
Does she work? Yeah, she works from home. Oh, from home. She works. This is her
Boom, boom. He's turning it on.
lifeline.
He's anxiously waiting. Why is he so anxious?
So that thing turns back on, it's gonna start blowing up. Oh yeah. Trust me. It was shut down. She's in the flyer. Yeah.
The cop just asked, it was shut down? Yeah. Says Chris. What do we think? This is the part I'm also kind of stuck on. Did Chris know that the phone was going to be off? Is he wondering, hey, Nicole, why did you turn it off? I'm kind of confused. Or did he already know? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this one. Exactly. Julie, yes.
Do you know her passcode?
Question. Do you know her passcode? Oh my God. But you're right. He didn't even try. Guys, holy shit. He didn't even try to log in. Holy moly. Holy moly. Here, I'm going to try this, you guys. I'm going to try it, okay? This is what he did. Wait, did he try? He didn't even try, or did he? Did he try to access the phone? Or did he automatically know that the password was already changed?
Well, it was originally under the cover on the couch. Do you know her passcode?
I don't know her passcode.
It used to be 2385, and now it's 6 digits.
Oh, it used to be 2385, but now it's 6 digits. Okay. Okay, so he's doing this. He's turning the phone on. Right? I guess, I don't know if it's going to pop up that my password is 6 digits. Is that what it says? Okay, it just has Mr. Butters. Okay, but if I try to log in, let me see. I just want to. Oh, hold on. Look at that. My password is 6 digits. I'm like, wait, how many digits? My password is 6 digits, and it shows you when you try to log in. So he knew the password was changed because it tells you that the password is now 6 digits. Wow. He's like, oh, it used to be 2385, but now it's 6 digits. Do you know her password? He's asking NA. Holy moly. Yeah, and that's the baby's due date. Exactly. Hold on. Did I miss? Oh my goodness. Okay, I know. I'm like, you guys, See, when we're looking at this stuff, I just kind of lose my mind. Okay, boops. Okay, Chris didn't try the code, but he knows it was changed. And Kay has told him at this point that she couldn't get in. Yeah, exactly. Right. How else would he know that if he didn't try the code? Right. And now that we have tested it, it shows you automatically if the password changed because it tells you now that it's 6 digits. Okay, if I change my password to 4 digits, it's gonna show up 4 digits. So the thing is, he didn't even Nicole didn't even have to tell him, he just saw it, and he's like, "Oh, shit. I'm not used to seeing that. I'm not used to seeing those many dots at the top." What? Oh my god. Okay, let's keep watching.
What's the baby's due date?
Well, what's originally under the cover on the couch? You know her password?
I don't know her passcode.
It used to be 2385, but now it's 6 digits.
It used to be through 2385, but now it's 6 digits, and all he does is point at it. He's like, "Yeah, I guess it's changed because it used to be 2385, but now it's 6 digits. Do you know the passcode?"
What's the baby's due date?
1/31/19.
Boom. And at this point, look at the time. 14, right? 14 minutes. Now let's go back to the discovery. Messages from Atkinson were finally received. Finally received. This is the wording I'm going off of. And the video itself is showing us that the reason it was finally received is because the phone was off to begin with. The phone didn't receive the text messages, and that's why they're finally being received now that the phone is on. All of these. And look, they even made a bullet point of all of the ones that came through, right? Just wanted to see if you were okay. They included. A group text was also created between Cassie, Christina Meacham, Nicole Atkinson, Addie, and Shanann's phone. The group sent assorted messages of growing concerns for Shanann. So all of these text messages were coming in, all of them. Notice, though, that it doesn't say that Chris's text messages were also coming in. Why? I think that the wording tells us that it's because the phone was on when he sent them, but then were turned off when her friends were trying to get a hold of her. And I think that the reason for this, this is just conjecture, right? This is just speculation. And based on the evidence, I think that it's because Nicole found out that she couldn't access the phone. Okay, so right here. At that point, Nicole's like, "Holy shit, I don't even know what the password is. I can't pretend to be Shanann anymore." She panicked, she shit herself, and she's like, "You know what? I'm not doing this. Mm-mm. Plan has fallen through, Chris. The plan has fallen through." And I think this is when she bailed. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this. Fuck this. The plan has fallen through." What do you guys think? Yeah, exactly. Eric Issa, exactly. He's probably shitting bricks when she told him that she couldn't get into the phone. Plus, NA is calling the police. Did the police take the phone or leave it until later? That's a good question. They took her phone. They did take her phone, I think. Usually someone would try to put in a passcode, to try to open the phone, but he knew that NK was trying to get into it, so he didn't want to lock it out in front of everyone. Huh. That's a good one too. That's a good one. Holy shit, you guys. Oh my god. Okay. Let's continue watching this, right? Let's go ahead and see how else he acts. Look at him. Look at how nervous he is. Oh, there it is.
What does she do for work? She works at a direct sales company called Thrive.
Look at his disappointment. Ugh. She works for direct sales called Thrive. As he's looking so pathetic, right? He looks so pathetic just looking at the phone. He's like, fuck, man. Nikki couldn't get into the phone. Oh, fuck. I wonder if he's kicking himself because he couldn't come up with the password. I wonder if Nicole asked him, hey, like, hey, Potato, that woman changed her password. Do you know what it is? Just throw a bunch of ideas out there. And Chris is like, have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Oh, that didn't work. Okay. What about 6, 5, 3, 2, 1? That didn't work. Okay. What about 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1? No. Okay. What about 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2? Have you tried that one? No, that didn't work either. Okay. What about a bunch of zeros? Right? And Nicole's like, are you an idiot? Do you not know your wife? Can you come up with something else? And Chris is like, huh? What do we think? Do we think he's kicking himself because he's like, damn it? Oh, the password was my son's birthday. God, what an idiot. I agree, Carol. Yeah, a little bit of God's intervention here. Oh my, Exon knows that he did something by now. Yeah, Mr. 145 IQ. Right, Mr. 145 IQ couldn't think of a birthday. Exactly. And I think this is why Nicole Kessinger knew that she's like, oh no, 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 no. This man is an absolute moron. I need to protect myself because he's not gonna do it for me. Due date, and he couldn't think of it. Wow. Look at him. What's he doing? It's so obvious he's acting. Yeah, he's reading through her text messages. Look at that. Look.
Oh,
He can't even look up. He's like, he can't even look up. Look at the worry in Nicole Atkinson's face. She's like, oh shit. Like, is there anything in there that I can see that might give us a clue as to where Shanann is? And he's like,
as her blood sugar dropped low. Actually, her friend in Arizona said that's the first time it's ever happened.
She normally has migraines, like a while ago, but she had them a lot this weekend. Cass is a nurse, so she figured it
look.
was because of blood pressure.
And then Chris inserts himself into the conversation because he's not the one that really is showing that he gives a shit, right? He's like, oh yeah, I don't know. She was probably sick or something. And then she's the only one that knows more information. So she's like, oh yeah, this happened and then that happened. And so Chris is feeling a little insecure. He's like, oh shit, hold on. Let me insert myself into this conversation so that I can seem less guilty, right? Because he's not giving any useful information to the police. So now he's inserting himself. And he's gonna talk right over her.
Blood pressure sugar was dropping because she wasn't eating her normal, but she normally eats. Like she takes a couple bites until she was full.
Okay.
And
She doesn't ever black out or have seizures or anything like that.
No, I mean, long time ago.
Long time ago. That is his contribution. A long time ago. Really, really long. You know, like, have you heard of the year 1882? Yeah, that long. That was his only contribution. Long time ago. He's cooked. Exactly, Smart Survival. He is. He is cooked. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. Thank you so much, Boobs, for the super chat. All right, guys, let's continue.
She got in a car wreck, and I believe that's what happened. But Imitrex is something she takes for migraine.
Look at him. He can't even explain himself, right? She is doing all the explaining. Then he inserts himself and he's like, he is stuttering.
I mean, long time ago. She got in a car wreck, and they believe that's what happened. But
She got into a car accident, and I believe that's what happened. Wow, the explanations. Wow, so helpful.
Imitrex is something she takes for migraine. She took more Imitrex this last month than she ever had before, but that's just because she was in North Carolina with the humidity.
She took more of this, but that's because, she was in North Carolina. Right? Look at all the hand movements.
Like that. She was there for 6 weeks, and we got back Monday or Tuesday, and then she flew out to Arizona Friday morning, and then she got back last night about 2 a.m. The flight got delayed. She left about 11. She got here at 2.
Okay.
And I went to work this morning about 5:15, 5:30.
What do you do?
I work at oil and gas in Darko.
What do you do for them?
Operator.
Oh. Long days then?
Yeah, I'd definitely still be out there.
Yeah.
Why is he even laughing? Oh, yeah, his eyes look freaky. Yeah, who cares about all that? Yeah, just look at him. Yeah, he's got guilt written all over his face. Exactly. Especially the part where the cop is about to move behind him, and then Chris is like, he thinks he's about to get arrested. I love that part. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I love that part.
It's always a long day, especially in that heat. There's no off text messages unless.
Can you look at your camera?
His behavior is so obvious that the guy is lying.
It's unless they left out the front door.
Because you told me that she went on a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
With girls, and then
That's what she told me.
Addie said you told her that
She went with some friends she went to go to a friend's house with the kids.
Yeah, look at how defensive he's getting. I love this part because Nicole Atkinson is like, hold on, no, that's not what you told me. And he's like, yes, I did. I told you though. Yeah, I did. Come on. Look, he gets all defensive.
It's unless they left out the front door.
because you told me that she went on a play date with the girls, and then
That's what she told me.
Addie said you told her that
She went with some friends she went to go to a friend's house with the kids. That's why I knew they weren't at school.
Addie said you told her that she left in the middle of the night.
Oh no, she didn't leave in the middle of the night, no.
Yeah.
Where do you kids go to school at?
Primrose and Vista Ridge.
Daniel said talk to you.
Okay. Hey. Yeah.
What is he doing? What is he doing with her phone? He's looking through her text messages. He's like, yeah, they went to Primrose. Yeah. What is he doing? Is he deleting text messages or what? I wonder what he's doing. Look at her back away from him. Yeah. She knows he's creepy.
No. Yeah, she said she was at a friend's house. That's what she told me she was going to do.
Nicholas.
I have no clue whatsoever why she wouldn't take her cell phone.
I have no clue whatsoever why she wouldn't take her cell phone. Ugh.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Look, he followed Nicole Atkinson into their room. Nicole Atkinson walks in here and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to follow up behind you. Because again, I think that this is another one of the reasons that he closed the doors upstairs when Lauren Arnold showed up, because he doesn't want people sniffing around. I think he's trying to hide more shit.
She didn't leave out the front door, and she... Well... Yeah, I can look at that and see.
Yeah. What do we think? Do we think he was deleting text messages? Is it possible that he was deleting text messages? Probably the text messages of her friends asking, hey, where are you? Are you okay? Because that would show that she wasn't okay, but Chris was still trying to make it seem like she just vanished, disappeared, or took off. What do we think? Do we think that he was deleting text messages, you guys? Exactly, Birdwatcher. Yeah, he follows NA all over the house. I want to see what she's doing. Yeah, he wants to see what she was doing. Yes. Yeah, he's watching her like a hawk. He also doesn't feel comfortable with Nick being there, right? Okay, guys, question for you. Next poll, next poll. We're just going to be pushing through these polls because we have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. Okay, what is your okay, perfect. Okay, you guys. What is your interpretation of the discovery? The phone was turned off and then on, 90%. The phone died, no battery, 4%. The phone was always on, 3%. The phone was always off, 3%. Okay. So the majority of us interpreted the discovery the same way I interpreted it. Okay, guys, thank you. And I'm saying thank you not because you agree with me, but thank you for letting me know how you interpret the discovery. Okay, next question. What do we think Chris was doing with her phone? What do we think he was doing with Shanann's phone? A, deleting messages. The other one, I think, right? Checking to see if NK accessed it. He's just nervous and he doesn't know what to do and he's just, messing with it. And then the last one is going to be all the above. But actually, you know what? If I do all of the above, I don't want to do all the above because I want to see what do we think he's doing most of? Like, we know that he's nervous, but do we think he's deleting messages? So I think I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so it's going to be no inclination. Instead of all the above. Okay. What do we think Chris Watts was doing with Shanann's phone? Deleting messages, checking to see if NK accessed it, nervous and messing with it, no inclination. We're going to separate it, even though I know it's probably all three, right? It's probably all the above, but I want to see which one's more. Nervous messing? Okay, yeah. Right, I mean, he is kind of just fiddling with it, right? He's just like, phone is off at 2 a.m., no activity, then on at 7, then off again, then on about 2 p.m. Right. I don't think anything was deleted from Shannon's phone. You don't think anything was deleted? Okay. All right. Lots of good feedback, you guys. Lots of good feedback. Wouldn't we see? Yeah. Yes and no, right? The reason is because we never got Shanann's actual phone records, right? Like, we never got her phone records. We never got Chris's phone records either. So we don't actually know what really happened in Shanann's phone. We know the text messages that she sent to her friends because we have their friends' side of the phone, right? Everything that we know is what the friends received. But we never got Shanann's actual phone. We don't have her phone. So we can't say for certain that these text messages were not deleted. We also didn't see Chris's, which I think is really weird. How is it that we have Nicole Kessinger's phone logs but not Chris's? Wouldn't his be the most important out of all of them, his and Shanann's? Yet we don't have their actual phone logs. We don't have their information at all. At all.
But it's so random because it goes off and on here lately. It gets false trips. They told me it was open when I got here.
This is the other thing that he keeps harping on the same thing. Why do we think he keeps doing that? He keeps saying that the garage door was open, but it was closed when he got there. Is that him trying to make it seem like, I don't know, someone left out the garage door? What is he trying to do here? He just keeps saying that the Vivant told him that the garage door was open. Eric Issa, walking around and talking, looking guilty as hell. Yeah, he shouldn't have been allowed to stay there that night. I agree. This was an active crime scene. Yeah, he said he was cleaning to take his mind off of things. I mean, come on. Chris Watts showed no emotion at all about his family being missing. Exactly. Eric Issa, yes. Why was Chris allowed to stay in the house when it was an active crime scene? And then he's allowed to clean. I mean, for fuck's sake. Come on. What were the police thinking? Oh, God. This is what infuriates me. Every time I go back, oh my God, I just really wish that the cops had done a better job at securing the crime scene. Thank you for that, Eric. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. So Discovery didn't show. Nope. Nope. You guys. Yeah, you guys. The Discovery does not show Shanann's phone. Yeah, they did. They botched the whole case.
I know it doesn't make any sense at all.
Look at how. Come on, he's walking around.
I don't know where she's at, where the kids are at.
I don't know where she's at, where the kids are at.
Yeah.
Right, just Josie's. Yes. He's trying to create a lead.
People that are out of state that she would contact would be in Arizona, be Catherine and Josh, and she's not there.
The guy with the camera said nobody left the house during the day. Only people that showed up in the driveway and entered it were us.
I can look. What's that?
Your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, TK. Yeah, she was a missing person technically, not a crime scene yet. They need to do better. I mean, yeah, exactly. Right. It's not technically a crime scene, but if you just use your brain, you can deduce, right? You can deduce that if they're missing and then the husband is acting like a complete creep, like a freak, then you can deduce that something's going on here. So close it down like a crime scene, right? But again, ineptitude. I think it's just ineptitude. I think that I don't know. These cases, they need to be handled differently. I think that a lot of care gets put on the suspect, right? I think that we really care way too much about not I don't know, not violating the suspect's rights. I think that's really what it comes down to, right? You can't just suspect someone just because you don't have evidence yet. But I mean, come on. This is why we have these issues. If we don't treat this like a crime scene, then this shit happens, right? The suspects are able to clean up everything. They're able to get rid of evidence. So there has to be a system that works where you're not violating the suspect's rights yet, but you're also handling this like a crime scene, like it should have been. So there's things that have to change here. Whether it was ineptitude or incompetence or this is the way that the police handle situations, it has to change. There has to be some type of change here because this is not it. This is not it. Come on. What, we're just going to allow all of these murderers to just clean everything? Oh, well, we don't have evidence that you're a suspect yet. So yeah, go ahead and get rid of all the evidence. We'll leave you in this house for 3 days. You can do whatever you want with all the evidence because we don't think it's a crime scene yet. I mean, come on. Oh, Jessica. Yes, I have, but no. Oh man. Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, because of course they're part of the investigation, but also no because they're still current. So interviewing current investigators, they would have to be very cautious about the things that they say, and so I don't want caution. I want honesty. I want honesty. Oh, you guys are having audio issues? Didn't D. O'Rourke F up another case before the Twats case? Oh yeah, he's fucked up a bunch of them. He's messed up a lot of them, in my opinion. He's given a lot of plea deals where he shouldn't have. He could have been held under causation. Yeah, I don't know the U.S. term for it, but it's not arrest, but letting them go either. Yes, exactly, not letting them go. Yeah, see, yeah, the thing is, the cops probably could have held him for something else. I just wonder what, right? Like, what could you have held him for? Man. But anyway, all right, guys, let's continue because my God. This is intense.
Yes, cameras. He said that the only people that left the house were you in the morning and then drove shut and then was us. That's all he has.
I dropped her off.
Okay. But who left and then just okay.
I'll see if I can get on that USA app or Chase app, see if I can get on it, please. I'll see. I will. Alright, thank you.
Check this part out.
Dispatch Rick 91. You can cancel medical if they're staged.
What an idiot. Huh? Is that for me? Oh no, the popo coming after me. I love that part. Lucky, yes. You know what other crime scene was the worst ever? Jean-Benet. Jean-Benet, oh my God. The cops just allowed the family to go in and out, step all over the crime scene, do whatever they want. I mean, who knows? They probably could have even just set the house on fire. Because the cops were like, oh yeah, no, there's nothing suspicious around here. You go ahead and stay in your home. God, these cops butcher all kinds of scenes. It's so insane. They need better training. Something needs to change, right? That's what we need. We need change because this is not it. Not it. All right, let's continue listening to this. I know we got a little sidetracked, but we had to, right? Because all these things matter.
I talked to her mom a few times to see if maybe she could tell me where to go look. It was just kind of like wanting to do something but not really knowing where to start kind of situation.
Right. Okay. Do you guys actually get a search party organized at all?
No.
Okay.
We never got that far.
Okay. Are you still trying to contact Shanann?
No, I'm not at this point.
Okay.
I knew the police had her phone, so there was really no point trying to contact her when she doesn't have her phone.
Right.
And I knew that on Monday.
You knew the police had her phone on Monday?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How did you know that?
I don't know. I think either her mom told me or her brother. Because I'm assuming they had talked to Chris or they talked to Nicole because Nicole was there when the police got there. So I'm pretty sure it was her mom that told me that they had her phone.
Okay.
So once I found that out, there wasn't even a point in trying. Yeah.
Did Shanann wear a smartwatch?
Yes.
Did she have that on her all the time? Did you ever go back to the house? Anything else about Tuesday that you remember doing specifically to try to find Shanann and the girls?
No, I started getting all of the phone calls and stuff from reporters on Tuesday.
How did they put you together with her?
I had made a post on Facebook. If you see anything, if you know anything, blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't even know how they got my phone number. To be
They're
honest.
good at it.
Yeah, it's their job.
Yeah.
So a lot of Tuesday and Wednesday was not talking to reporters. So it was a lot of like random texts and phone calls and being driven crazy by all of them.
Sure.
Oh.
So, watching the news a lot, seeing if we could find out anything.
See, so was Nicole Kessinger, right? So was Nicole Kessinger. She was watching the news a lot. Yeah, she was all over that thing. Nicole was all over it. She was making sure that she was keeping up with the news of her disappearance. Yet she lies, tells the police, oh, I wasn't even really looking. You know, sometimes when I read the newspaper, I might look, but not really. Only sometimes, maybe like 5 times a day, but only on the newspapers. Oh, come on. Does she read the newspapers? No, I don't think she reads newspapers.
Yeah.
Are you talking to any of her friends?
I kept in contact with Nicole. I talked to her friend Christina that lives in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
She talked to her all the time, so I was, we were communicating back and forth because she was like, let me know if you hear anything, I'll let you know if I hear anything. Checking on her parents, making sure they're okay. Her best friend in North Carolina, I talked to her a lot. It was a lot of phone calls and texts and I don't know anything. Those were frustrating days.
Sure, I can understand that. Okay, so anything else about Tuesday that kind of stands out for you?
No, no. I think we saw the interview Tuesday night.
What was your impression of the interview?
Um, it was disheartening, I think, because he was still kind of emotionless, but the emotion that he did have was not the right emotion.
Oh,
I feel like he was almost cocky in the interview, and that was kind of alarming to me.
ah. Uh, uh. Again, I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. Again, the fact that her friends were able to call it out, they clocked it immediately, yet none of the people on his side clocked it. Yeah, she said it was disheartening. Why? Because he was acting like a weirdo. He was laughing, he's smiling, yeah, he's cocky. Yeah, that was the duper's delight. That's what she's describing right now. It was the duper's delight. He's laughing. Yeah, I agree with her. The impression that he was being cocky. Yeah, because he thought he got away with it. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. This girl is no fool. She's fucking smart. She's smart. She clocked that right away. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, it is. It is definitely a very long interview, but my God, we were getting way more information from her than NK, right? All of Nicole Kessinger's interviews, long as hell, yet she says nothing of importance, nothing of value. Oh my God. All right, here, let's go ahead and end the poll. I want to end the last poll since we've moved on from Chris Watts. What do we think Chris Watts was doing with Shanann's phone? Nervous and messing with it. Okay, so the majority of us think that he was just messing with it and nervous. 30% believe that he was deleting messages, and 19% say checking to see if NK accessed it, and then no inclination. Okay. Okay, so we think he was just nervous. Okay. Yeah, I actually think it's all the above, but I mostly think that he was probably trying to delete messages.
I don't think that was, like I said, there's no like correct behavior for the situation, but that was a wrong one.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of like some of the things he was saying didn't make sense.
Was there something specific that
I
would
mean,
make sense for you?
no, it was little things like he called everybody he knew, which isn't true.
Ah, yes! Yes! I called everybody I know. All the people. I called all of my people and all of her people. I called everybody from Maine all the way down to Florida along the East Coast. I also talked to all the lobsters and all the crabs in my pants. And they all said, I don't know where they be. What an absolute moron. Right? She's clocking it. She's watching this idiot on TV and she's like, oh no, that's weird. Why is he saying that he called everybody on the East Coast? He didn't call me, and I live 20 minutes away. Oh, oh. Scott, I agree. Yeah. I don't know, man. See, the thing is, the cop is standing right there, right? And he might be a little nervous to be deleting messages, but who knows, right? I mean, he can still be like, but I do agree. I do agree. He might, yeah, he might have still been a little, I don't know, maybe not scared, but too nervous, right? To try and delete something. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
He rushed home as soon as he found out, which isn't true. Um, just the way he said some things, or the things that he wasn't saying, it was just all very, it's like he had tried to like rehearse it, but he didn't do it right. So it just,
Ah! Oh my God! She's incredible. She's incredible. See, she felt it too, that he was rehearsing it. It was a script. See, she felt that it was a script. Yeah, because everything that Chris says is scripted as hell. Everything, everything. Oh, I called them. I wanted them to barrel rush me. I don't know where they be. I'm sad that I don't turn their rain machines on. I miss them throwing chicken nuggets at me. I miss my beautiful wife. Where you be, guys? If you're out there, wherever you are, please come back. Come on. Yeah, she's able to clock it right away. See, she knows. She's like, I don't know. This kind of felt rehearsed. Holy shit. See, and she knows him, right? She met him. We didn't, and we still suspected that the man was scripting, or rehearsing everything that he was saying.
it came out odd. It's like he was trying to convince everyone that, like, it definitely had nothing to do with it, but he was conveying it in like a happy way. I don't know, it was weird.
Anything else about the interview?
No, just, no. I don't think he should have done an interview, but, it's not my call.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you thinking about the entire situation at this point?
Like at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
He did something.
I at that point, I had a very strong feeling that he had done something.
Yep.
But yet, it's still kind of hard to believe because he just isn't that person. So,
What does that person mean, though? Like, he doesn't have to look like a monster. He doesn't have to scream at you every day or, verbally or any type of abuse. The thing is, people just murder. People just murder, right? Scott Peterson wasn't that person either. Neither was Chris Coleman. He wasn't that person either, right? None of these people that we talk about on this channel, okay, maybe except one, right? Maybe Sarah Boone, right? Because she's always spiking her Dr. Pepper, and she was an alcoholic, and that dynamic was very strange, right? So except for them, everyone else that we again, maybe the other guy too, but apart from those crazy people, most people that we talk about on this channel, including Corey Richens, they're not that person, right? They don't display any of these toxic traits, right? They're not displaying that they're going to eventually murder you. Again, I think that we are conditioned to believe that the only people who will harm us are people that will show us that they're dangerous. No, that's not the case. People don't have to show us that they're dangerous to harm us. People will harm us regardless of whether or not they show that they're dangerous and then they're crazy and impulsive. No. I really do think that the dark side of the human side is desperation. When human beings become desperate, they do desperate things. Just like Taylor Parker, right? She was desperate. She wanted a baby. She couldn't have one anymore because she had a hysterectomy. And then she got desperate to prove to her boyfriend that she was pregnant because she wanted to keep him. And then she goes out and murders a woman and takes her baby, right? That's desperation. I don't think, this woman wasn't showing that she was violent anytime before that, but she just got desperate. Same with Chris Watts. He didn't have to show his violent side. He was just a desperate individual. He didn't want to be with his family anymore. He wanted to be with Nicole Kassinger. And the easiest thing for him to do, rather than get divorced and have to deal with the aftermath, was murdering them and then hope to get away with it. That's easier. It's easier. It really is. It's easier to just murder your family and try to get away with it than, and again, this is easier for a coward, right? A coward who isn't willing to take accountability of his actions. It's easier for cowards to just murder their families and try to get away with it than to deal with the consequences of having an affair and having to get divorced and having to tell everybody that you're a piece of shit. It's just, again, I think we have to stop looking at people as like, oh, well, I mean, he's not dangerous, so I don't think he's going to do anything to me. It doesn't matter. He's going to the thing is, they can still do something to you because they're desperate, right? Same with Corey Richins. Same with Corey Richins. She decided to poison her husband because she's like, yeah, I don't want to be with you anymore. I have this man on the side. I want this house. I'm trying to get a bunch of money. So I'm just gonna murder you. She didn't show any signs that she was violent or crazy prior to that.
The person that I knew and the person that was kind of on TV are two completely different people. Like his behavior and his mannerisms and everything were just really different from the person that I had known. So I was trying to figure out, like, does he just know something or did he actually do something? And that's what, we were kind of trying to work through Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
Because it's still one of those, you don't wanna believe that he actually had anything to do with it, so we didn't know anything. But from what we did know, everything kind of points to, it seems like he had something to do with it.
Are you talking to your fiance about this?
Yeah.
What's he saying?
He was pretty surprised at the whole situation. He had met Chris a few times and they got along really well. Cause I think the three of them were like the only Steelers fans in Colorado, so they got along really well. He kept asking me, he's like, do you think he did it? Do you think something happened? What do you think? And I'm like, I don't know. There's nothing telling, like, there's no evidence saying yes, but my gut feeling is different.
Right.
So.
Gut feeling.
So let's go to Wednesday. What do you do Wednesday? Anything that you can think of that's related to this? Or you kind of talking to friends more?
Yeah, it's mainly deflecting reporters and talking to friends, kind of. It's been a couple days now. Like, what do we do next? How long is this gonna last? It was either Tuesday night or Wednesday. I set up a fundraiser to, help, because I know her parents wanted to come out here because I would want to be out there. So I was trying to help raise money to get them out here so they could help with the search or, anything like that. So I was getting the fundraiser stuff set up, trying to like talk her mom through bank accounts and stuff like that.
That's the GoFundMe.
It was the Facebook fundraiser.
Oh, Facebook.
Oh, right.
So let me back it just a smidge. So prior to Wednesday, what do you hear as far as progress of the investigation? Anybody telling you anything? You hear anything from the police?
Yes and no. I talked to Amanda Thayer. I don't remember when the docs came out. That had to have been Tuesday. I was on the phone with her because she was still with Chris at the house. And she said that the dogs had just left. And I was like, well, what happened? And she said they didn't find anything. I said, well, how do you know? And she was like, because they didn't say anything. And I was like, well, they're not gonna tell you if they found something. And she was like, well, Chris isn't a suspect, so they would tell him. I was like, okay, clearly you don't know how these things work, but okay. I was like, so you're sure they didn't find anything? And she was like, no, they didn't find anything. And I was like, okay, so what else? She was like, they searched the house, they did a thorough search of everything, and she was like, they didn't find anything, so we're gonna take Chris to our house. I was like, okay. And that I kind of, like, knowing the little things that I know about law enforcement and stuff, I feel like when they don't tell you anything, then that's when there is evidence. So in my mind, them saying nothing to him said more. So I kind of started to like internally freak out because I feel like there was more going on than what they were letting out. I know there was something about the bed sheets not being on the bed. And that was a huge red flag to me.
Who told you about the?
Oh my God. We're getting into the bed sheets. Holy shit. She knows everything. What? I'm wondering why I didn't listen to this interview before. Holy shit. She knows so much. We're getting into the bed sheets, guys. Look, she said it was a red flag that the bed sheets are not on the bed. Yeah. Why are the bed sheets not on the bed? Your family is missing. Why are you washing your sheets? And then and notice, right? She's so smart. She's able to figure stuff out. She's like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. If the police are not telling him anything, it's probably because there's evidence and they don't want to let him to know too much. I mean, she's piecing it together. She's piecing out everything together. My God.
Bed sheets.
Nicole.
Did she tell you how she knew that?
She was inside the house.
Did she comment about that being unusual?
Only after I said something.
What did you say to her?
I said, that's not right. And she was like, I know. Just because of how Shanann is, she wouldn't, like, her bed is never, like, stripped of sorts. So, like, if she's remaking her bed to wash her sheets, she makes her bed again. Like, she would have just left it all unmade like that.
So her bed's always made.
Yes,
What about the kids?
always made. Sometimes, like, it's either right after they get up or as soon as she gets home from taking them to school. But I mean, she does all of her cleaning and stuff in the morning, so her house is always really clean. I don't know how she does it.
All right, so Wednesday, more of the same, Dodge reporters.
Yeah, she knows all this stuff. She knows that Shanann's not gonna make her bed and then just leave it half-assed. She knows her, right? And the thing is, she's the one that knows her. I never met Shanann, but everything that I know about her, I know that she was very OCD. I know that she's type A personality. She's a go-getter. She's always like, no, 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 I can't finish this until that's done, right? She's not gonna move on to the next task if the previous one is not completely done. And she knows this. So she thought it was really weird. Why are the sheets not on the bed? Come on. Come on. And yeah, Nicole Atkinson also knew. He's like, wait, what the hell? Why are the sheets not on the bed? But somehow Chris is trying to make it seem like, oh, the sheets. And again, this Nicole Kessinger talks about this all the time about the sheets. We've wondered, what is going on with the sheets? What's with the sheets? Nicole Kessinger talked to Chris Watts at, what was it, 2 a.m? They're doing the sheets, and then she starts also doing laundry. Oh, Chris inspired me to get my laundry done at 2 a.m. Come on. Why is she doing laundry? It was during one of these big ones, right? She calls it the big ones. It was in between this one. So it was actually, here, let's go ahead and do this. She's like, the 2 big ones. It's the 2 big ones. These. The one at 11. The one that is 52 minutes long. This is when she was inspired by Chris to wash the sheets. Or do laundry, I should say, right? Because he was washing the sheets. Why is he washing the sheets on August 13th at 12 at night? Or what was it? 11 at night. Why is he doing that?
Talking to friends.
Yeah, I had the Facebook page set up. Excuse me. So I had like the fundraiser, the Facebook page. I don't know. Wednesday's kind of a blur. It was just, my phone was just going off like crazy. Just constant people and questions and yeah.
That's kind of why I wanted you to come down here in person to see
Yeah.
that we weren't trying to jack with you.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Scott, NK washes her sheets once a year. See, I don't even think Nicole Kessinger has sheets. I don't think she has sheets. I think she has the twister board, right? Like the twister mat. I think that's what she has on the floor. On the floor. I don't even think she has a bed. All right. She's like, this is where I sleep. Right. And then she sleeps like this, like a spider. She's putting all of her limbs on different colors of circles. Yeah, I don't even think she has any sheets, guys. So I think it's BS that she was doing laundry. I don't even think she does laundry. She wears the same shirt every single picture that we've seen her, right? She wears the hips, lips, and dipshits shirt, right? That tank top that she bought at the Bandimere Speedway. And then she also wears that ugly dress, right? The potpourri dress. I think those are her only 2 outfits that she has. Oh, right. And then I forgot her brown bikini. So that's it. That's basically it. She has a brown bikini. She has that tank top that she wears every single day. And then she also has that dress. That's it, right? So if she wants to feel nice and go out and have like a fancy date, she'll wear the dress. If she's feeling, adventurous, let's go on a hike, Chris. Then she'll wear her hips, lips, and dipshits shirt. But if she wants to feel sexy, right? I'm a sexy empanada, Chris. Then she'll wear her brown bikini. Let's continue.
I have to be careful who I
no,
talk to.
I understand that. Anything else about Wednesday that stands out in your mind?
Uh-uh.
So I assume at some point on Wednesday you hear about Chris being arrested.
Yes, her mom called me.
Her mom called you.
Mhm.
Okay.
She sleeps hanging upside down. Tommy's girl. Oh man, it's just funny. All her dead skin flakes. Oh, gross. She's like shaking her sheets, and you just see like poof. Oh. She's like, hold on, is it snowing? Oh no, it's not snowing, it's summer. Oh, disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, goodness, no. No, not even the thrift store sheets. Goodness, no. No, she's not gonna thrift her aunt's, batteries for sheets. No, she can just sleep on the floor. No, she's thrifting to be able to get more things, right? Like she wants a ring or she wants a car. No, she wants fancy things. No, she's not gonna be stealing from her aunt to pawn the batteries for something like this. No. No, she'd rather just sleep in the floor.
And what's your initial reaction to that?
I think I had a panic attack.
So,
Not like a severe one.
breakdown.
But yeah, because up at that point I'd been like, you don't know what's going on. Like they're just missing at this point. But then once he gets arrested, kind of makes everything a little bit more real to the worst case scenario. So I talked to her mom, and then maybe 10 minutes later, it was like all over the news that he was arrested and had confessed. And then
What does her mom say to you?
she tells me that they had taken Chris into custody, and I said, for what? And she said, on suspicion of, I think she said on suspicion of murder. She said, he just said that he knew where they were. She said, but the news is gonna report something different. So I knew what I was gonna see before I saw it. Because the news and everybody was saying that he had confessed to murdering all three of them. My understanding was he had only confessed to knowing where they were. So they were still not alive, but he wasn't saying, yes, I did it. So even then, it still could have been like anything at that point. I don't know, it was pretty shocking. Even though like I think I had known, and I tried to prepare myself for him to be arrested in connection with all of this, it was just still kind of like,
Surreal.
it's Chris. It just didn't really make any sense.
And I assume you've seen all the subsequent stories that
Yes.
have come out, and
Mhm.
some true, some not so truthful. So I assume you saw one specifically related to him dating somebody at work.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Did you have any?
Oh my gosh, she's getting into NK. Oh my God. God, this interview is so good. This is such a good interview. She did an incredible job. And the questions, although I will say some questions were stupid, I do like how he kept it organized. Very, very different from the line of questioning that Kevin gave Nicole Kessinger. I mean, look at the difference. The difference is night and day. They're interviewing Shanann's friends. Everyone that they interviewed in connection with Shanann, they did it so organized, right? They did it so perfectly, in my opinion. And then anytime that they questioned Nicole Kessinger and her alibis and her friends, they just completely butchered it. They're like, oh yeah, no, we're not even gonna ask those questions. And you know what? We're just gonna let her ramble. We're not even gonna challenge the question. She is being challenged, right? He's like, hold on, can you explain that to me? Or like what triggered you, or why would you think that? None of these questions Kevin asked Nicole Kessinger. This is fucking crazy. Holy. Yeah, exactly, Viva. Thank God this wasn't conducted by defective Kobach. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the interview and how shitty it would have been if it was Kevin Kobach asking her questions? He would have been like, can you tell me what you remember? And you know what? If you don't really remember, it's okay. It's okay. You don't really have to remember everything. I'm just wondering. Please don't get mad at me. Let me ask you this question, but hold on, please. Don't get mad at me. Oh, okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep going because holy shit, this is so good. I really, really want to finish it. Look, we're almost done. We're almost done. Oh my God. This is so good. All right, guys, let's continue.
Knowledge of that, did Shanann ever
She
suspect
had
that?
made jokes kind of about just like if he didn't answer a text or something, she's like, oh, he's probably with his work girlfriend. But I never really like probed her about it. In those 6 months where his behavior had kind of started to get a little bit distant, I thought about that, and then I thought about, well, maybe he was having an affair. But even then, it still just, it seemed weird, because he didn't really seem like the affair type of person.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? You know, I've met some guys that I was like, oh, there's no way he's the affair type, and my God, they are. They are. Yeah. Even the ones that look like thumbs, right? I've met some men that look like they just look like a thumb walking around. Right? They're a thumb with hair. Somehow they still cheat on their girlfriends. And it's like, how? How are you even capable of cheating on your girlfriend looking like that? Right? And it's not even their appearance, but it's also the way that they carry themselves, right? Like I've met a lot of we're going to talk about guys, right? So I've met a lot of guys that look like thumbs. They're very, very shy or whatnot, and they're still capable of cheating on their girlfriends. Absolutely. They still do. So again, what does this really mean? Oh, he's not that kind of guy. He's not the type. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. If he's breathing, he's the type. Yeah. I think the only one that isn't the type is the one that is in a coma. Um, I think that's probably it, right? Like, unless you're in a coma and you're just incapable of moving, right? Because you're brain dead, then I think it's definitely very possible. Ugh. Yeah, it means he fooled everyone. Again, right? It's just, oh man. I don't know how people get fooled. I really don't. Again, maybe I say it all the time. Maybe I'm just jaded. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded, right? After being in 2 military branches, after seeing a bunch of stupid bullshit, I think that my perspective is very, very cynical when it comes to people in general. So I don't think of, I don't know, right? I don't know. Maybe it's that, but I think it's kind of weird that just because somebody carries themselves a certain way doesn't mean that they're not capable of doing certain things. That's all I'm saying. Come on. No.
I mean, 6 months ago, if he would have asked me, was Chris having an affair, I'd be like, absolutely not. But since seeing his behavior change, and I could see it. It just, I don't know, still doesn't really make sense. I don't.
So, knowing what you know now, looking back at what he was as his behavior,
Yes.
does that
It does.
equate?
Yes.
Is there something specific that sticks out in your mind, or just a generality?
No, I think it's just the general like distancing. It's typical behavior. I think like not as much affection, and the distancing and the short conversations, and
Yeah.
I mean, most guys pretty much act the same. So
All right. So other than the joking, did Shanann ever talk to you about that? Confide in you that she thought he was having an affair? You know that.
no.
Anything we haven't talked about that you think we should? Something we need to cover?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Even if you think it's outlandish. That.
Not that I can think of.
Wow.
No. It's still kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around kind of situation.
Oof.
I don't know. Just, I feel like it was extremely out of character for him. So it's just hard to think like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's asking her, "Is there anything else that you can think of?" And she's like, "Oh man, I don't even know." Right? It's like, what is she supposed to say? I mean, she's still trying to process everything that has just happened. She even told herself, right? Like, she's like, I was already kind of preparing for this to happen, for Chris to be brought in and be the suspect. But even when you know, or even when you feel it, it's still really hard to accept it. It's really hard to process something this gruesome. Yeah. Eric, yeah, exactly. If you care about your relationship, have respect and trust, and you know each other's worth, you won't even think about it. Exactly. You won't think about being that type. Agreed. Exactly, Eric. Exactly. And again, this goes both ways, right? I know we're talking about men here because Chris is the one that murdered. But yeah, it goes both ways, right? The respect has to be mutual. And it has to be mutual trust that both partners would never think about straying. I mean, how could you? If you say you love and you care and you support your partner, how can you even think about being with someone else? That is why I think Chris never loved his family. There is no way he loved his family. How can he just fall in lust with a woman he just met at work and stop caring about his children? I don't think Chris ever loved his family. He never did. He was just going with the motions.
Yeah, I think about the last 6 months and I'm like, well, maybe we could have seen something coming, but he wasn't abusive. There was no, I mean, and I saw her enough to know, if something was happening and it just wasn't, just, I don't know. I think it would have been different if maybe they would have had kind of a volatile marriage or there would have been constant fights or something, but that's just not how it was.
So I know that she put a lot of her life on Facebook.
Mhm.
Was what she portrayed on Facebook pretty consistent with what reality was?
Yeah. And I think outside looking in, it's really hard to assume that because people that don't know her, would say that maybe it is a front, that she's trying to portray her perfect marriage. But that's, that is how it was. He was very interactive with the kids and with her. He was very attentive. He was one of those like worship the ground that all three of them walked on kind of husbands. So that's why when they initially went missing, there's no way in hell Chris could have had anything to do with it because that's just not the like family person that he was.
Right, but it was a front. It was a facade. He did this until it no longer benefited him. Yeah, he did all of this because there was no other option for him. There was no other woman, there was no other path that he can take, so he kept doing what he thought that he needed to do. Until that woman crossed his path, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, this is not worth it anymore. I want to go here." Yeah, it was all a front. All of this was a mask that this man was wearing. Right? He was only attentive because Shanann told him to be attentive, not because he was taking initiative, not because he was a naturally an attentive person. If he had been, he wouldn't have killed his family.
But then, going to see him and going to talk to him, and then as things started to unfold, it's like they were just two completely different people. I don't
So
know.
obviously your impression changed very quickly.
Yeah, and I didn't want it to change because I've known him for almost 5 years now, so I don't know, it just doesn't add up. So, I don't know.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, if you can't think of anything else, I think we'll call that good for now.
Okay.
If you think of something, would you either give me a call or send me an email?
Yeah, and I'll try and find that
Yeah, if you have
for the
it.
13th.
Yeah, if you would, I would appreciate that
Yeah.
too. So let me put my cell number in the back of the card there for you.
Wow.
And were you guys fast?
Okay, that was it. Oh my God. That was such a good interview. Such a good interview. My God. She is so knowledgeable. She knew everything. She knew dates, she knew times, she knew who contacted who, she knew who was there at the house. She knew that Chris was lying. She knew that he was being cocky. She believed that he had done something to his family. I mean, what else? My God, she knew everything. Crazy. She is But anyways, guys, holy shit, what do we think about this? You guys let me know. We asked a lot of questions. I know I had more, but let me see. Did I? Oh, right. Yeah, I already asked that question. Okay. But oh my God. Yeah. Love bomb, devalue, discard. Love bomb, devalue, discard. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Wow, you guys. This was crazy. This was crazy. I have a lot to think about and process. Um, I might actually watch this all over again by myself just because holy shit, there's a lot that was said here. You guys let me know though. If you do come up, if you guys see another one of these amazing interviews, please send them. All right. Go ahead and post it on the community board. I'm going through the entire community, guys, and believe me, I read your comments. I try to get through all of them. But yeah, if you post them there, I go through and then I list them and then we can watch them together. And if you guys come up with any other theories or thoughts or something just popped up in your brain, please drop it off. Drop it off in the community board. Let me know. That way we can discuss it. Because holy shit, man, this. Oh, she is the most exactly Angela. She's the most insightful person that they've interviewed of everyone. I think. I think she's the one that was the most helpful. Again, I'm not going to say that other people are not helpful. Of course not, right? Nicole Atkinson, incredibly helpful. Neighbor Nate, incredibly helpful. But when it comes to this level of information, this was by far the one of the best and most informational interviews that I've heard by far. And I've watched the other ones too. I watched Nick and Amanda Thayer. We've already watched Lindstrom, which was also very telling, right? But I think more than the information, I think it was more telling about how they viewed Chris and how they viewed Shanann, which it's important, right? Is also important to see, but it wasn't as informational as this one. She knows so much. Holy moly. All right, guys. Oh, this was so good. Yeah, guys, send more of these my way. Please, please, please. We still have to listen to the other one, the one of the Lindstrom boy, but that one is really long and there's a bunch of like screaming and shit in the background that people are like, I don't know, cooking or something. I don't know what's going on, but I do want to fast forward and get through and be able to listen to that one. Exactly. Yes. Remember to always trust your instincts. Yes, yes, yes. My God. Holy. This was so good, you guys. All right. I just want to thank everybody for the super chats. Let's see. All right, guys. Neffy, welcome. Welcome to Platinum. Thank you for upgrading. And Angela, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the comment. And thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. Boops, thank you so much for your insight. My God, you have so much. Again, right? We all have so much information. Everybody has information. So thank you guys so much for all your insight. Smart Survival, thank you so much for the super chat. Eric Isa, thank you so much for the super chat. Jessica, thank you so much. And here, let's go ahead and do the other ones. There we go. Angela, thank you. If you like pina coladas, thank you so much. Tiger, Angela, if you like pina coladas. Soily Blue, if you like pina coladas. GTKH7FQ. How do you say that? Is it? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the jewels. Tiger, thank you so much. Nick, thank you. Angela, thank you so much. Aw, you guys. And then, of course, everybody else. Thank you all so much for joining today's live stream, for watching. And if you are not subscribed yet, you guys, please, please, please go ahead and subscribe. We're almost at 10,000. We're almost at 10,000. Let's get to 10,000, please. Let's go ahead and get to 10,000. And then we're going to do a giveaway. You guys, I really want to do a giveaway. I have a ton of stickers. I have a ton of stickers to give away. I want to do another giveaway, but I want to get to 10,000 first. And then I also want to do a bigger giveaway. I want, getting to the point of making t-shirts and maybe a hat and who knows, maybe other things. So I do want to, I want to make some really funny, cool, like rabbit hole rock shirts, because of, the things that we talk about. So I also want to do those and do a giveaway of the first time that we release, our merchandise. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much to my moderators. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. Thank you to my members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. You guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel as well. Please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, right? Hype, all that. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, merchandise. I'm really excited, you guys. I'm excited for the merch. And I'm also excited to do giveaways. I love giving away free stuff, right? Free swag is what it's called, right? And you know, if you guys, I'm sure you guys know already. I was in retail for a while I was going to school as well, and working in outdoor retail, a lot of it is free swag, right? They're like, oh yeah, go ahead and get free swag. So people just love it, and I love giving stuff away. So yeah, let's get to 10,000, guys. Oh, thank you so much. If you like pina coladas, thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. For Gia, for a new catnip plant. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, you're so sweet. Gia, where is she? Baby, where is she? Oh, she's not here. I was about to tell her. Gia, we're gonna get you a new catnip plant. She's like, I don't know where you. She's like sleeping. I don't know where she's at. I'll let her know. But thank you so much. You're so sweet. Oh, you guys are the best. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead. Send me all the videos that you want to watch, guys. Let's go ahead and do the videos. Oh, a mug. You guys want mugs too? Yes. Yes. Okay, let's do mugs. Ah. Gia is always high. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's always high. She's on that devil's lettuce, right? She's on the devil's lettuce cat version. Let's see Gia, please. I don't know where she's at, you guys. I can't see. Okay, no, she's not here. I don't know where she's at. Okay, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys after. Okay, so we want mugs. So far, I have just stickers, but I'm planning on doing hats, shirts, and mugs. Okay. Hats, shirts, mugs. What else? What else? Mugs, mugs, mugs. Yes. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Gonna glue on googly eyes. Oh man, you guys are giving me so many good ideas. What if the googly eyes were what if they came embedded into the mug, right? But then you couldn't put it in the what is it? The dishwasher, all right? It's not dishwasher safe. Hats, hoodies. Oh, right, hoodies too. Hoodies, pens, okay. Hoodies, pens, keychains, hats, hats, hats. All right. Cool. Yeah, something cheap. Yes. Yeah. Okay, guys. Love it. All right. Mug for sure. Please make it oversized. Okay, so we want oversized mugs. I'm trying to find. Oh, I didn't bring a mug today. Okay. Love it. Potato head figurines. Yeah, let's do some potato head figurines of potato head. Potato bobbleheads. Oh my god. Oh, that's fucking funny. That's so funny. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, we have ideas. Yeah. Of course, right? We're like, I have to budget for these things. So the first merchandise that I'm able to afford will be rolled out, and then we'll increase our merchandise as time goes on, right? As time goes on. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Love you all. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you guys so much for joining the live stream. Thank you for hanging out with me, for all your insight, your theories, and your jokes. Love it, guys. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Yeah, some tube tops too. All right. All right. Bye, guys.